Again, sloppy exchange to the quarterback, but Rockwood able to handle it. So now is McLean going to get an opportunity to kick a field goal again? Nope, not going to do it. So Maddox Ellison lines up under center. Levi Ellison behind him. Maddox with the keeper, and he's gobbled up at about the 5-yard line. And that's where Harriman will take over on downs with a Hammers 1st and 10.
16, Maddox Ellison on the give. Comes up short, turnover on downs, be 1st and 10, Blue Devils.
Clock still running, 2:10 left to go in this football game.
Big ball game coming up this weekend with Tennessee Volunteers playing the Florida Gators at the Swamp. It's going to be a good challenge for this Josh Heupel offense. That very good Florida defense.
Yep.
Very good Florida offense. Very good Florida kicking teams.
Yep.
Very good coaching.
Yep.
Very good crowd expected.
You don't have to keep talking about all the good things about Florida, man. Come on.
It's going to be a challenge. With what Florida did to Alabama last week, it was a heck of a game.
Harriman's had enough. They're going to take a couple knees here and get out of here. And your final score is going to be Rockwood 63, Harriman 26. But that game in prime time tomorrow night, 7 p.m. kick.
Good opportunity. Get in front of some recruits nationally.
It is. It's a good opportunity.
Good showing. Big challenge. Yep. Florida Gators are very, very talented. Great quarterback play. That speed, quick option they run.
You're doing it again. You don't have to sit there and keep complimenting Florida.
Let's talk about what Tennessee does good. Playing excellent defensive line play so far.
It's Tennessee's defense has been surprisingly
excellent tight end play.
And that will be the last play of this football game. And I tell you what, that free medical clinic Friday night scoreboard show, they are going to talk about Tennessee too.
Call in, participate, guys. We need you letting us know what you saw. If you saw something tonight out of either one of these schools, call in. Let the guys know they are not able to watch the ball game.
So let's quickly talk about these two football teams. What did you see out of Harriman tonight? What's your big synopsis and summary?
A lot of talent that is unable to be utilized due to whatever reasons. Very talented group that could win a lot more ball games moving forward. This Rockwood team, very tough, hard-nosed, very talented. They've got 2-3 of the best athletes in Roane County with lots of Hannibal and Moran and so on and so forth. Very talented crew. I think they scathed away out of this ball game without too many injuries. So the season's bright moving forward for the Rockwood Tigers.
63 points in this rivalry. That's a lot of points to put up. So Rockwood, as Don Moran does some backflips, back handsprings, and all that, just showing, the type of athlete that he is to celebrate. This is a good Rockwood football team.
Yeah, very good. Had some tough losses, but to a very good Kingston squad and a very good Sweetwater team. And Monterey. They got one of the best running games, as the Rockwood fans watching this can attest to, around. So very good Rockwood team moving forward.
Yeah, well, we'll keep an eye on Rockwood and see how they do, and Harriman as well. So it was the 103rd meeting between these two teams. Rockwood comes out victorious, just like they have done since 2016. They now make this their 5th straight victory over the Harriman Blue Devils. It was a lot of fun tonight. We hope you enjoyed our broadcast, because we sure enjoyed bringing it to you. For all the guys here at BBB TV Channel 12, I am Aaron Harvey saying stay tuned for the free medical clinic, Friday night scoreboard show, and so long, folks.
Mulch & More in Midtown is your landscaping headquarters. They offer mulch, topsoil, all types of gravel, sand, rock, crab orchard stone, riprap stone, and limestone gravel. Mulch & More does light excavation work. Do you need a driveway repaired? They can do it. Plus, Mulch & More can do your water and sewer lines, French drains, and more with Ditch Witch services. So whether you only need a half cubic yard up to 20 cubic yards, Mulch & More can help you. Give Gary a call today at 865-234-7060 at Mulch & More in Midtown.
1952. That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores, and there's always something new. Like in Hammers' popular ladies' boutique department, you'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammers.
Patterson's Appliances has been helping families like yours find quality home appliances from trusted brands including Whirlpool, Maytag, and KitchenAid for over 55 years. Our knowledgeable appliance specialists know how to outfit your kitchen or laundry room with the right appliances to meet your needs. We service what we sell with our own in-house factory-trained service technicians, and for the DIYers, our parts department is always ready to help customers find the appliance parts they need. Patterson's Home Appliances, because we care.
Welcome to the Free Medical Clinic Friday Night Scoreboard. Glad to be back this week. Had to take a little sort of brief away last week. Cox, you did a great job without me. Glad you had Clem up here. He ought to be happy tonight, man, because Rockwood rolled tonight.
Big win.
That's usually a fairly close football game in the past. I think the guy said tonight on TV that Rockwood had won 4 straight of those games, so make it 5. But man, 63 to 26, something like that. That's a lot of points put up right there.
It's a lot of points. It's did Rockwood's quarterback that started the year come back and play tonight?
That's a good question. I do not know.
I don't know either. I wondered how.
I tried to watch it and listen to Clinton, and I had to just quit listening to the Clinton game because it was all about the officials tonight down in Chattanooga. So I've never seen so many penalties. I've just never seen so many penalties. I don't know what to deal with.
So Clinton was getting penalized. What was the score when you stopped listening to it?
21-7.
21-7.
Yeah. It was 14-7, and Clinton had 4th down and 11. They got the first down, then there was another penalty. I mean, I don't know how many penalties Clinton had against them tonight. I would be willing to bet they had 15 or more. And I would say the illegal procedure part was probably 8 of them.
Wow.
Jim Harris is the type of guy that he doesn't mention the officials too much. He will occasionally, but tonight he spent a lot of time talking about the officials more than the football game. And that's just a pet peeve of mine. I hate that when that happens, you're not there to see the officials, man. You're there to see the kids play football games. So, did Fulton win tonight?
Fulton beat Bearden tonight 15-10. They probably had 350 to 400 yards of offense, had 4 or 5 turnovers, dominated the football game. But it's one of those games they continued to shoot themselves in the foot, and you could see it coming. At some point, Bearden was probably going to make a play and beat them. But Bearden just – I'll say this. Coach Gaddis is a good football coach, and I would say that you say it best when you want to play them earlier than late. But after watching Bearden tonight, I was surprised that Oak Ridge did not beat Bearden.
I watched that. It was a TV game here, and I didn't think Bearden was that good. I mean, that's myself. Offense, I just didn't. Oak Ridge didn't play very well, but I didn't think Bearden was that good.
Yeah,
I really didn't.
And Fulton's a good football team, and they're getting better. They're really good up front, but the way the score 15-10, I bet the yardage was probably 350 to 400 yards versus 120 to 150 yards.
Now, as you was coming in and sat down, you was talking on the phone, and I heard you say Farragut beat South Doyle.
They were beating South Doyle 28-21 late in the fourth. So you look at South Doyle, they struggle with Oak Ridge. They struggle with Grace. They get beat by Anderson County. And it looks like they're going to lose to Farragut.
A 1-3 Farragut team or 1-4?
The only win they got's Oak Ridge.
Yeah, so they're 1 and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it's like the wheels have come off.
Well, it's weird because I went over and watched the first 3 quarters of the Anderson County game, and I made the comment last week. A guy called me and I was leaving. They said, "Who wins this game?" I said, "Anderson County coach staff." Not taking anything away from the players. South Doyle looks the part.
Yeah, they say they've got the part. We know they got one of the better running backs in this area anyway. I don't know if he's the best, but he's one of the top 2 or 3 anyway over there.
He's not as good as the old Bishop kid. Is that right, Bishop?
I believe that's right.
Yeah,
Carnes.
Carnes.
Yeah.
But
yeah, he's in the top 5 or 6.
He's a high second.
Know.
Between him and No, I would think.
Yeah, him and No, you're right.
Yeah.
It's just, you got 2 guys there, but
I noticed Anderson County was down 20-7 in that football game at Elizabeth and without Martinez.
Yeah. Well, I told a guy last night I think Anderson County's going to have trouble throughout the rest of the season. It's a bad break for them, but it's football.
Sports.
You got to live. You live with injuries and you die with injuries. I mean, sometimes it doesn't hurt you, and sometimes it does. So, it's just. I thought what I heard that Anderson County was going to do was try to do a 2-headed running game tonight with No, and is it Moog?
Yes, Moog.
Moog.
Yeah.
I thought that's what they were going to try to do tonight. I would think Elizabethan. And, am I right or wrong here? And I was told last night, Elizabethan is still as good as they have been from the last couple of years. They're still that good. I didn't think Elizabethan was supposed to be that good this year. So that's not true, is it?
No, I talked to Sean Witten because he was going to play in our jamboree. And, out of 22 starters last year, he had 16 guys this year that had not started a Friday night football game.
That's
and he
not
said,
a very good sign.
And that's why he wanted to come play in the jamboree. Like, Coach, I want 2 quarters in the jamboree under the lights with dress rehearsal. I've got 16 guys here that's not started.
It's not started.
But now they did bring the quarterback back, but they lost that All-State Mr. Football wide receiver. So
yeah. And then I seen early. I don't know about the final. Greenville was up on DB 14-0.
Yeah.
And now I was told DB is definitely not that good. They're 5-0, but they're not that good.
I'll ask you this.
Ask, buddy. If I can answer it, I would.
Did you watch any of the game last night or see any of the game?
I seen the last 2 quarters.
Okay, so I didn't see any of it, but at the end, from my understanding, just following it on Twitter a little bit, West scores a touchdown. Alcoa jumps off sides. The ball would have been moved from the 2 to the 1.
They did that on an extra point.
An extra point. So here's my question. They declined the penalty.
Yes.
Would you have taken the penalty and go for 2?
Well, here's
1 yard.
1 yard.
So what's the percentage of a high school kicker making an extra point? 60%?
Yeah, if that, I go 50-50, maybe.
What's the chance of a high school team getting a yard?
I don't know. It might be less than 50. Let me tell you why I think. Let me tell you why I think the reason they didn't do it.
Okay.
Then the broadcasters brought this up last night, and I assume this is true. Apparently, a couple years ago, West is in that same situation against Powell. They go for it, and they do not get it. They go for it, and they do not get it.
And then they come back 3 weeks later and beat Powell.
Right, but they didn't at that time.
But I think it
so,
says a lot about your team. It tells your team a lot if you go for that.
I myself, if I would have been standing there, and if I would have been in charge, which I'm not, I'm just saying this is me, I go for it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm not playing for a tie at my house. I'm going for the win at my house. You play for a tie on the road, bud. You're at home. Listen. West doesn't have anything to gain until you say you beat Alcoa, which would give you a bunch of momentum for the rest of the year, I think, knowing you've beat a really, really good football team in Alcoa. I think that puts your team up on the top and sort of pushes them over the edge. That's me.
It gives them a confidence. Even if you lose by going for the 2-point conversion, it still gives you a confidence.
I think somewhere down the road that probably pays off for West because the kids know, hey, we got a chance because our coach is going to go for 2.
Yeah.
That's me. That's what I would have done. He chose to kick the extra point. They missed it. Man, there was freaky plays in that game, though. You know, Alcoa scores a touchdown off the kid's helmet, and West does the same thing on another freaky play. So that was a freaky game last night, but 2 really good football teams. Who's the number 1 team in 5A? Is it West or is it Powell?
Powell beats Halls tonight 14-7.
But I hear, I'm trying to think where I heard this yesterday. I hear Powell's the number 1 team in 5A, and those guys last night on the broadcast kept saying West was the number 1 team.
West is ranked number 1 in the state.
So Powell's not?
Yes.
Okay.
That's correct.
Well, didn't know because it's a little confusing there last night. Not from the guys broadcasting the game, just from some radio people that I heard doing some pregame stuff was talking about it, that Powell was the number 1 team in 5A. So, I don't know if they were or not. So, I don't really keep up with that much.
But I think Powell, obviously, that's a rivalry game. But, I mean, Dave, we've been a part of rivalry games that are 25-point basketball games. Powell, you would think, would beat Halls worse than 7 points.
You would think.
Yeah.
But to give some credit, I'll throw a little credit Halls' way. They've got a lot better. I think they've finally got some stabilized coaching over there. So, maybe Halls is going to get back to their glory days of what they used to be a long time ago. I don't know if that will help them or not. That's just my thoughts behind the whole thing. So, see where Campbell County, I guess you could say, laid it on Kingston tonight. And I think a lot of people the way I was hearing, a lot of people thought Kingston would win that football game tonight. But they go up and Campbell County pretty much puts a hurting on them.
Campbell County told me how good they were last week when they lost to Carnes by a touchdown. That, I wasn't sure. But after that, I think Campbell County, offensively and defensively, were both a little better than I expected. Yeah, that kid's good. My boss said if we'd have played 6 quarters, he'd have ran for 600 yards. He said, luckily, we only played for 4, and he ran for 400.
Is he the right size, though, to play in the SEC? Or is he the right size to play Division I college football?
Yes.
I won't just say in the SEC.
Yes.
I'll say Division I.
He's so fast, but he's also got quick feet where he can put his foot in the ground and go. Yeah, so it's like a combination of, man, I can run, but I can also get through there and go.
Wonder who his favorites are right now. I know Tennessee's offered him. I don't know where they stand in the mix here, but
I don't know. I'll see him in the morning. Maybe I should ask him.
Maybe you should.
Yeah.
Hey, I thought what was neat last week, man, Tennessee lets a preferred walk-on. He does the punting. A guy that's from Oneida. I believe his name's Cole. I can't think what.
Colby Morgan.
There you go. But I thought that's, I thought that was pretty special last week to see a young man from Oneida. Anytime you see a young man where he's walk-on, Scott, whatever, from a small school, get to do that, whether it's just against, I don't care who it's against.
Yeah.
He's out there, and I just thought that was pretty special.
Did the punter get hurt?
Apparently so.
And then
I assume he's hurt.
And he had 2 kicks, right? One was not good, and the other was really good.
Right.
Second one was good. First one probably a little jitters.
Probably was a little jitters. I would have been jittery too, probably. But I just thought that was pretty neat, though.
Yeah,
to
for sure.
to have that. Let's see. We got somebody that's holding here. Let's see who it is. Great call. You're on the air.
Hey, Queener. Hey, hey, Cox.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, buddy?
I figured that Rockwood game would be a lot tighter. Rockwood and Herman game would be a lot tighter than what it was.
Well, that's what I was telling Cox. I did too. Most of those games are pretty close. So
that's a blowout right there. That's an unusual. It'll be interesting to see what the scores over the years have been. That's pretty lopsided.
I wonder if that's the most points that's been scored in that. I mean, 60 points, that's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points, yeah. So.
Yeah, that's a lot of points for a high school game.
Sure is.
Hey, I want to deliver a message over the phone to my dad right quick. Hey, Dad, if you're listening out there, when I called you a while ago and you couldn't hear me, my sister called you and you couldn't hear me, and we heard you. We wasn't hanging up on you. We just couldn't hear you. I hope you're all right.
Message delivered.
Hey, yeah. Are y'all going to talk Tennessee after a while?
Yeah, we're talking a little bit after a while, around 11.
Around 11, yeah.
Yeah, we're talking.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. All
right, see you, man.
That's all about it.
All right.
You're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, how many points does the mercy rule start?
35.
35.
So that's what they done the last of the game.
Yeah, it was 30. It was 37. Yeah, the clock ran in the third and fourth quarter. All the fourth quarter. I don't know how long in the third. I don't know what the score was early on in the third. I didn't see it.
Okay, so it's 35 points.
Yes, 35. Did Clinton get beat tonight?
I believe it did, 20-7.
Yeah, 21-7. Well, that's the last I heard as I was coming in the studio here, so I didn't know if they got beat or not.
And I think at quarterback, I think he got hurt, got a concussion. They had to put
Thackerson. Yeah, Thackerson.
They had to put Thackerson.
Yeah, I heard as I was coming in, they said Keith was down behind the play, and another kid was down, and then I came on in. I didn't hang around to listen to anything, so I appreciate the info.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, it looks like Clinton's quarterback went down tonight late in the ball game. He said he had a concussion, so we'll assume that's what it is for right now. Hey, let's jump out and take our first break. 483-8112 is the number. Give us a call. Hey, hold on a minute before you go. Did something freaky happen at Cofield tonight? Because they were saying they were because the guys that called the game said something about, wonder if people would call in about the Cofield, what went on at the Cofield game. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe somebody, let's take this call before we take a break and see. Let's see.
Great call. You're on the air.
Ball's by 3 tomorrow. Let's go, baby.
Falls by 3.
Falls by 3. Okay.
All right, let's take that break. We'll be right back just in a couple minutes.
Many of our neighbors are living in fear of becoming sick or injured because they do not have health insurance or can't afford to go to the doctor. The Free Medical Clinic is solving that problem by providing free, no-charge primary care clinics in Oak Ridge, Harriman, and Briceville for residents in Anderson, Morgan, and Rome counties. But we don't accomplish this alone. There is no way we can create a better future for our community members by ourselves. It takes all of us. We thank each of our valuable partners in helping the Free Medical Clinic end the fear of those who can't afford medical care. On behalf of our thousands of patients, thank you.
American Outdoor Equipment has a great new location in Rockwood. They are a Branson tractor dealer with various sizes to choose from. Branson's greatest asset is their strength, quality, and features. But American Outdoor Equipment also has Bobcat mowers. You can expect the best when it comes to performance, durability, and comfort with a Bobcat mower. Or how about a Dixie chopper mower? They're the world's fastest lawn mowers. They have a large service and parts department. They are family owned and operated, plus they offer in-house financing. That's American Outdoor Equipment in Rockwood.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 110,000 participants here in Tennessee who take part in high school sports.
I am a Simplicity dealer. This business is my life, my career. If you need a new mower, I'll help you choose the model that will make your property look its very best, and even let you take a test drive. When it does need service, you can rely on my factory service training and genuine parts. Because I don't just sell products, I build relationships. I am a Simplicity dealer.
S.L. Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
Your grandmother's fine china, those trendy sneakers, your collection of hand-carved duck decoys. Auto Owners protects your home. Because, well, somebody should. That's simple human sense.
Ask Griffin Insurance Agency in Kingston if Auto Owners make sense for you.
Oh, now you do your job.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
Welcome back to the Free Medical Clinic Friday Night Scoreboard. If you need some medical help, they're there for you, fmcor.org. Check them out. Don't live in fear, folks. There's free medical help out here, so they'll take care of you.
Is Oak Ridge off tonight?
Yes, Oak Ridge has a bye tonight.
Okay.
I think they're next week at Greenville. I might be wrong on that, but I think it's Greenville. I really do. I wish somebody would call in from Coalfield. Hey, Eric, if you're listening, call us, man.
Hey, Jones, if we get a coach that calls in, will you let us know? I think we got a couple of coaches going to call. So when you answer, just let us know.
Go ahead, caller. You on the air?
Hey, yes, sir. How many yards did the Carnes running back have tonight?
How many yards? Does anybody know how many yards that Carnes running back had tonight?
I don't know. I know at one time he was just over 220, and that was in the third quarter.
2 plus, probably 300 and something, probably before it's over with, I would assume.
Okay, thank you.
All right, see. Quick call, you on the air?
Hey, I just found out Coach T. Fred said Clinton got beat 20-15.
20-15, okay. All right, thanks.
Okay, so Clinton comes back and scores some points there at the end.
I'll find out how many yards he had tonight.
Stephen called you a while ago.
Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
And I'm okay. My phone wasn't up on and I could hear him, but he couldn't hear me.
Oh, he couldn't. All right, you got it. You talked to him?
Huh?
Have you talked to him?
I called Clinton.
Okay. All right,
Okay.
then. All right, see you, bud.
All right. Dad's all right, then. Says he's talked to him. That's good.
Yeah, he had 220 in the third quarter.
220 in the third. And they might not have played him. Did they win?
It says here he had a 70-yard touchdown run with 1:53 to go in the third. So, yeah, they won. They won big. They were at 41-19 over Carter.
Over Carter?
Yep.
Over Carter.
So, be interesting to see.
Oh, I told you wrong. Oak Ridge home against Powell next week.
Oak Ridge at home. That's right.
At Powell, with Powell.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Thanks, Gary. Appreciate it. I forgot about that. I heard Coach Gaddis talk about that Wednesday night, that Oak Ridge had Powell. So,
and
I'm sure they scouted that game tonight.
I would think that they feel as though they've got a chance to win that ball game just looking at the score of that game tonight and coming off an off week. And, if you win that ball game, that could turn your season around.
Now, something I've noticed with Oak Ridge just in the last week or two, man, they're starting to play just a little bit better. And the quarterback, first year kid, he's starting to play a whole lot better. So like I always say, if you're going to play Oak Ridge, play them early. You got a better chance of getting them. If you're going to get them early. Oak Ridge is in the same position they was in last year, 2-3 coming down the stretch here. So we'll see what Oak Ridge can do coming down the stretch. They got a really brutal schedule coming down the stretch. Powell, I know they got Greenville on there. I know they've got DB on there. And I think Gibbs is on there too. And I'm not for sure who else is on there. They've got a tough schedule coming down the stretch. So be interesting to see. I would say our Oak Ridge caller would call, but I probably know more about the schedule than he does.
I don't know if he'll call back.
He might not.
We had a quick trigger with him the other night.
Yeah, he just gets on the bus when he wants to. He don't ride it all the time.
Yeah.
When they're losing, you don't hear nothing from him. So, anyway, that's how he is. I think Cofield played Gordonsville tonight, I believe, and they got beat 20. I think it's 21 to nothing. 21 to nothing.
I'd love to hear something about that game. I know some of the Cofield crowd doesn't get that game, but I'd love to see that.
Well, the guys were just talking, said they'd be interested to see what some fans had to say. Quick caller, you on the air?
Yes.
Coach Black.
Yes.
Ramon, what's going on, man?
Hey, Dave, what's up, man?
How we doing, buddy?
I'm good. I feel a little bit better now that I can sit down and relax for a second.
So, you all didn't have any headsets tonight working at all, is that correct?
We didn't have – no, our headphones did not work tonight.
I noticed that as the game was going on there, that Diggs ends up on the sideline. You hadn't had a headset on. First thing off, I asked Coach, I said, Coach, what's going on? He said, that's weird. I don't know. And then all of a sudden, no headset. I heard you had a couple extra riders on the bus home tonight.
Oh, man. Hey, we had some little guys that were turned tonight, man. Bus was a little packed tonight on the way back.
Meredith sent me a text, where's Tate? I said, I don't know what we found out, and they said he's on the bus.
Yeah.
So, hey, talk a little bit about your team tonight, your defense. Offense probably had over 350 total yards, but it just seemed like one of those games just couldn't finish the drive and a crazy night. Go ahead and talk about your team a little bit.
Yeah. First of all, I felt like our team played really, really hard. Coach Schindler from Bearden, said that same thing to me as we walked through and shook hands tonight, talked about how hard my team played. And that makes me proud, that those guys were giving great effort and straining out there. And so I'm proud of them for that. We didn't play very clean, didn't play very well at times, but did well enough. And I talk about our defense. I mean, our defense just, week in and week out, man, just, solid as a rock. And they keep us in it. And you said it earlier. I mean, offensively, I felt like we moved the ball like crazy. We found some things and we're able to get it up and down the field on them. We just, we turned it over. Now, I've been doing this 30 years. I don't know that I've ever been in a game where we turned it over 6 times, but I know I haven't been in one where we turned over 6 times and win, and so, we had we missed some snaps tonight in the shotgun. We turned it over 6 times, and I don't know how many penalties yet. I haven't seen the stat sheet yet, but still to find a way to win, that tells you how hard you play.
Absolutely. So you did turn it over 6 times?
Yes, we did.
I was trying to Coach and I was on the way here. I was trying to figure out how many times. I thought it might have been 5, but so it was 6 times. And Bearden, I mean, I felt like Bearden played hard as well, and you all played hard. It was a fun high school football game to watch, but I felt like the score didn't tell the story of the game.
Yeah, I agree with that, and hats off to them too. They do play hard, and we knew that. I mean, I told our team Monday, after we studied film all week, and I watched it every day this week, even today at lunchtime I was watching film, and just really impressed with how hard they play, especially defensively. Man, they fly around, and a lot of times getting 11 hats to the ball, and that's the mark of a good defense. And but again, I felt like we found some things offensively, and but we just get down there and turn it over, and there wasn't a whole lot of times that I felt like they just stopped us. We stopped ourselves, and that worries me a little bit down the road. Our guys getting complacent and feeling like we can move the ball and turn it over and it won't hurt us, because eventually that's going to beat you, and we got to get that cleaned up.
Absolutely. Now, real quick, that little trap play you run, if I'm South Dole next week, I don't want to be that kid getting hit by Seth Vaughn.
Seth's the load, man, and for those linemen, sometimes a trap block is like a touchdown. That's their glory. So he takes pride in it, man, and he's good at it. We ran it several times, and he was the man when we ran that.
Man, that was super impressive, and I'm just looking over. I'm trying to find the stats here of how many offensive yards y'all have, but I thought it was an impressive offensive night. Congratulations on the win. Good luck next week against South Dole.
All right, thanks, guys. I appreciate it very much.
All right, see you, Coach.
See you, buddy.
Rob Black. Hadn't talked to him in a while. Good to hear from him. So, I wish somebody from that. I figured Eric would call in. This is Florida week for Tennessee, and I'm sure he's going to want to call and try to juice it up, but he's not called. So, I'm sure he went to the game tonight. Tell us what maybe went on down at Cofield. It's back-to-back weeks Cofield's lost games, so but I give old coach credit. He at least stepped up and played a game last week.
I said that last week on the air.
Yeah.
There's so many football coaches that would run and hide and take the win.
Just take the win and go on.
But instead, he played a football team that was bigger, that he knew was going to be.
Probably have more kids out there.
Oh, that's what I mean. Yeah. I mean, there's no way. I mean, they've got 1,400 kids over there, 1,300 kids at Carter.
Yeah, Carter probably. Close to that, I would think.
Yeah.
Not in there somewhere.
But he knew that would make him better.
Yeah.
In the long run, if you're going to play a South Pitt or somebody.
Well, I think down the road, that's what you're right. You can't play those. And I wonder how many games he's had this year where his first teamers have not played after the third quarter or not played after the second quarter. Maybe I'm sure some of them's had to play, but some of the skilled guys have probably not played as much. So that when you get in the playoffs, everybody's good.
Yep.
I mean, you're not there by accident.
Well, after you get past
first round,
once you get to that quarterfinal semi, it's football.
It's football. I mean, you got to play. So you got to play 4 quarters too. So I get my hats off to him for playing that type of schedule and stepping up and playing. So I don't know if Gordonsville, I don't know what classification they are. I have no idea. I know nothing about them.
I know South Pitt stepped out tonight and played a team from Georgia. So there are a lot of matchups tonight that you normally don't see.
Yeah.
Farragut, South Dole, Fulton, Bearden. There's just everybody was stepping out.
But I'm sure South Dole in the past, though, has probably played Farragut.
That's a big, but when they were both 5A. When they were both 5A.
We're both 5.
That's a big win for Oneida, going and beating Northview Academy. That's a big win for Coach May.
They struggled a little bit this year too.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah,
last week they got a COVID win.
Take them away and get them, but well, I thought that line was. Go ahead, Carl. You're on here.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's Miller.
Hey John,
what's going on? How are you doing?
I want y'all to explain to me what happened to Campbell County and Kingston. Explain that scenario there.
Campbell County scored 35 points. Kingston scored 0.
But the big hype was, Kingston coming in 6th rated. What's that say about that program? I mean,
I think there's a big difference.
What's it say about Campbell County's program?
I think there's a big difference, and I've noticed this, John. Fulton played 5A football for about 4 years, maybe. Maybe it was only 2, but it seems like long. No, it was 4. It was 4. And the depth of 5A and the depth of 4A is different. And the reason I say that is Fulton went over and played Gibbs a couple weeks ago on Thursday night. I don't know if you watched that game or not. And
I didn't.
I just walked away saying Fulton never had a game like that when they were 5A. When you play West and Campbell County and those schools, that 5A.
Yeah, week in, week out.
Yeah, it's a whole different ball. I mean, it's a whole different ball game. So to say what I was about to say, Kingston's been playing 3A football, and I think if you look at it, they've played Harriman and Rockwood as well.
They have.
Yeah.
So not to take anything away, I think Kingston's going to be perfectly fine. I think Kingston will have to play Loudon to see who wins the region championship the last week of the season. I think that's the OEB game of the week, the last week of the season. I still think they might win their region, but I think it tells you that Kingston's a good football team and Campbell County's a good football team, but, Kingston's got it's just a different size. It's different football.
Well, I've noticed in the past year since the Price twins have been at Campbell County, that they're like a cleaner says about Oak Creek. They get better as the year goes on.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And, I don't know if you know this or John, but their head coach is coaching practice from the stands.
Yeah.
To not be around, to not be around the close contact with any players or anybody because of his son's immune system. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think everybody thought, John, that Kingston was going to go win that game tonight. I was shocked a little bit by the score. I don't care to tell you, but I didn't know that Kingston. I didn't know they'd get trounced on like they did. But I think it's just it's a little bit shocking. You're right.
It was to me. I thought it'd be a really good game. I thought it'd be a knockdown, drag-out game. I really did.
Yeah, and Kingston's been playing really good football. Well, Campbell County's been playing good football, too. Their first loss was last Friday, and, Kingston come in 5-0, and they were 4-1. So I think a lot of people thought Kingston had a legitimate shot at this game. I just think the difference in classification just paid off a little bit.
And Campbell County's coming into Clinton next week, and it's homecoming. And I think Clinton set a record tonight. I don't know if y'all heard.
What's that?
They had more penalties than they've ever had before in the whole program's history, I think.
I said that. I don't know how many. Listen, I don't know how many they've had. I don't know how many they had tonight, but they had a ton.
Hey,
they had 9 in the first quarter.
John, did you not go to the game?
I listened to it.
Did Sleepy go?
Sleepy went.
Hey, text Sleepy.
I hold my comments. Go ahead, John.
No, text Sleepy and tell him to call us. We were just wondering what happened. I mean, it's tough to go. Like David said, the officiating was just.
When you have to reload your gun because you shoot yourself in the foot so many times, it ain't going to be pretty. Oh. But they did come back. I'll tell you, they did. Joshua Keith went down with injury in the third quarter, and Trey Ferguson came in and led them right down the field and scored. And then they just sort of put it together. They had a last minute drive, and they had Jeremiah Levant open in the end zone, and Thackerson just couldn't hook up with him, and he was wide open. He just couldn't get it to him.
It's good to hear Thackerson's back and playing. I think he got injured a couple weeks ago, and 3 weeks ago, and I don't think they were real sure what his situation or status was going to be.
Well, I know a lot of good things are going to be in the future for Clinton, but there's something you can't overlook, and that's senior leadership. And Thackerson's got it, and sometimes you got to pull the guy in that's not doing the job and put somebody in that can get the job done at the moment. And that's just the way it is. It's sports.
Yeah,
you're right about that, bud.
All right, guys. I'll get Sleepy to holler at you.
All right, thanks, man.
See you, bud.
See you, John.
See you guys.
So I didn't know Clinton had come back and scored a few more points there. So it means they scored, what did he say, 20-15?
And I
put
think,
8 on the board.
I think Coach Keith said early in the year that he was trying to try to play both those guys. They're different.
He had been playing both.
Yeah.
And
Thackerson got hurt.
Yeah, Thackerson got, I think he called in. He said, I wish I'd have went with my gut and pulled him earlier before he got hurt. That's going into the Oak Ridge week. I don't think they had Thackerson, I don't think, for the Oak Ridge. Not that it would have made any difference. I don't know that, but.
So did Clinton play for the first time in 3 weeks tonight? Yes.
No, Clinton played last week. Got beat by Powell.
Oh, that's right.
Powell beat them.
They got the Cherokee win.
Yeah, and then
due to
played Powell,
COVID.
and then played tonight. So they had played last week.
I was wondering if the penalties had something to do with not playing in a while, but I forgot to play.
Yeah, Clinton's 3-3 right now, going in down the stretch. They've got Campbell, Carnes, Gibbs, somebody else. I don't know who it is.
Gibbs non-district.
Yep. I say they got Gibbs. They might not have Gibbs. It might be somebody else. I'm trying to think who else left in that district.
So they might.
They've got Campbell County and Carnes left for sure that are district ball games that they've got to win. Lenore City. They've got Lenore City.
Oh, they do.
I think so. Yep. I think you got Lenore City.
Okay.
So.
My weeks run together. I thought for some reason they got a COVID win against Lenore City.
No, they got a COVID win against Cherokee.
And that was the only COVID win they've received?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. It's only one.
Should we take a quick commercial break?
Let's take another break. We'll be right back just a minute on the Free Medical Clinic Friday night scoreboard.
To be honest, I was skeptical about getting the COVID-19 vaccine. I checked what the CDC says and spoke with my doctor about the potential side effects. It definitely made me much less anxious. She told me if I have some arm pain or feel tired, that's completely normal as my body builds a defense to the virus. I was willing to take the vaccine to protect me, my family, and my friends. Join the millions of Tennesseans who have decided to give COVID-19 vaccines a shot. Visit covid19.tn.gov to find an appointment today.
Foxy Insurance Group is a local agency. We've got a great staff. We're knowledgeable. The most rewarding thing about working in insurance is taking care of customers. When they come in, a lot of times they don't know what coverages they need. They're relying on us to give them the right coverage that's going to fit their needs, but also at a competitive price. Anybody can go to any agent or they can call any 1-800 number. But getting that right agent that's going to take care of them and be there in time of need, and that's what we're here to do.
American Outdoor Equipment has a great new location in Rockwood. They are a Branson tractor dealer with various sizes to choose from. Branson's greatest asset is their strength, quality, and features. But American Outdoor Equipment also has Bobcat mowers. You can expect the best when it comes to performance, durability, and comfort with a Bobcat mower. Or how about a Dixie chopper mower? They're the world's fastest lawn mowers. They have a large service and parts department. They are family owned and operated, plus they offer in-house financing. That's American Outdoor Equipment in Rockwood.
1952. That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores and there's always something new. Like in Hammers' popular ladies boutique department, you'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammers.
Beautiful yards make a statement, and beautiful yards come from Simplicity Mowers. Their exclusive free-floating mower decks with full-width rollers track the contours of your yard for a perfect cut. So visit your neighborhood Simplicity dealer today and start the conversation about your lawn. Simplicity, the way to a beautiful lawn.
You've dreamed about the perfect house, a place to call your own, and a place to not only stretch out, but to grow. Auto Owners protects your house because to you, it's home. That's simple human sense.
Ask Griffin Insurance Agency in Kingston if auto owners make sense for you.
Happy to help, man. I was just over there talking to myself anyway.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
Welcome back to the Free Medical Clinic Friday Night Scoreboard. 483-8112. Give us a call. Around 11 o'clock, we'll talk a little Tennessee, Florida football. See what everybody's got to think about, if anybody's got anything to think about it. If not, me and Cox give our opinions, then we'll go home.
Yeah, that pill is calling my name tonight.
Yeah, that's the way that works around here. We were talking in the area tonight of all the teams that we cover here at Channel 12. And I don't know if Wattsburg and Sunbright and all those played tonight, or Oakdale, or Midway.
Not many scores.
I've not seen anything, so I don't know if they played tonight or not. Did they? Okay, that just answers some more of a question, what I was going to say. The only team in our area tonight that we know of that has won is Rockwood tonight. Everybody else took the L tonight.
And most people are on the road.
And most people are on the road tonight.
And Oak Ridge was off.
And Oak Ridge was off tonight. But Oak Ridge has a huge game coming up next week. I would say Blankenship Field should be rocking next Friday night with Powell coming in. And like I said earlier, I think Oak Ridge is starting to play a whole lot better. I know their quarterback's playing a whole lot better. Wonder, I hadn't heard today. I don't know how the city championship came out last night down here between Robertsville and Jefferson. I think everybody was leaning Jefferson's way. If anybody knows what the score was of that game, Gary, if you're listening, if you know the score, give me a text or call in1. Tell me what the score was. If anybody went to the game, call in and tell us about the game.
Who won the Clinton Middle School and Norris Middle School game?
Norris did 28-18 last night.
Okay.
At Clinton.
On the new turf.
On the new turf.
Is that nice?
I've not been on it, just to look at it. It's nice. What's the part that's not nice about it is the black spray painted lines that are as crooked as my leg. So
it's real.
That's real.
Well,
yeah, I don't know if it's waterproof. Well, let me say this: if it's waterproof paint, as much rain as we've had, it would be gone. So it cannot be waterproof paint, but it's as crooked as I'll get it. I can't believe.
So you think it's there?
I think it's there permanently.
No.
That's me. I don't know what they use. Somebody that, maybe the person that put it down will be brave enough to call in and tell us he did.
They called last week and said they freehanded it, and they got a little nervous.
Well, they got a little nervous, all right. It's a little crooked.
He said he didn't think it looked real bad for his first try.
Well, I don't know about that neither. But I can tell you this much, it's crooked. I just think if you go spend $700,000, shame on whoever who made that decision and let that happen. Shame on you, shame on you, shame on you. You should have either got the $20-some thousand I've been told that it would have took to put it down, or
what's $20,000 more?
After $700,000, we have a fundraiser or something. Golly.
Does soccer not have a facility down by the jail?
They do, but somebody said they're fixing to lose that because they're going to build Justice Center down there. I don't know if that's true or not neither, so, But anyway.
Well, if that was all in the plan, then the line should have been on the field.
It should have been on the field. You're exactly right. But like I said, I don't know if it's permanent paint or not. I would just think if it's a water-based paint, that with all the rain we've had, there should be some showing up where it's coming up a little bit, but it didn't look like it last night to me. To answer your question about how the field looks, other than that, the field looks really nice. It really is. It's a pretty football field. I never thought I would say that at at Clinton with a turf field, because Clinton always had a pretty good grass field.
You need to change brands. That brand's got you coughing.
No kidding, bud. It's in my throat and I can't get rid of it. So, but anyway,
I was watching. I was watching a little bit of the scores come across there, and Central looks like they're back on the winning track. They won tonight against Hardin Valley. We talked about Hardin Valley a little bit during the break. It's hard for me to imagine that Hardin Valley, Farragut, and Bearden all almost have 2,000 plus kids, or maybe they do. and not a one of them is dominant in football in Knoxville. Not a one of them. Farragut won that one state championship, but outside of that, it's not.
Yeah, but Farragut always plays fairly good football. And they always go, and they always, they're in the playoffs, it seems like every year, and they make a run. They make, I ain't going to say a deep run, but they make some runs.
Yeah. But
maybe not consistently, but
you just think with that many kids, you'd be better at football. Hardin Valley, I don't remember the last time they were good.
I'm
4 or 5 years ago, they might have won some games and made it to the playoffs.
I wonder how many times in that program's history have they been to the playoffs. I bet it's no more than 2 or 3.
I don't know. Everybody, if you have a football team, most times if you can go line up, you get in the playoffs. So watered down.
That's true. Let's see who this is. Good calling on the air.
Hey guys, it's Jesse Smithy. How are y'all?
Jesse.
Where were you tonight?
We were out at high school for the first time ever.
Where?
At Carnes High School.
Carnes High School.
Yeah.
You didn't get that approved by the board. I thought you was going to be at Bearden.
No, we were not at Bearden. I can count on one hand all the times that I've been to Carnes in my 20 years of covering high school football, and it's really cool to see this community being able to get excited about a football team. I think we can all know that through the years, Carnes has been a cellar dweller type of program, and you can see it kind of starting to come over the last few years with Deshaun Bishop, but they got some pieces around him, guys, and they absolutely did whatever they wanted to a good Carter team out of 4A, and they win that game convincingly tonight, 48-25. I think Deshaun Bishop ran for 352 yards, 5 touchdowns, and but there were other guys around him making plays too. It's a nice little football team.
Hey Jesse, is he approaching any kind of single season state rushing record?
No, I wrote about that a little bit on our site this past week, and
I don't have a login.
Yeah, you don't have a login. I'll see if I can talk to somebody about that. He needs to play at least 2 or 3 playoff games to try to get to Jalen Hurd's record. And so, just doing the math off of what he would need to get, he'd still need to be hitting 250 to 300 yards per game through the rest of this season, and then maybe try to get a playoff game or two. Because Jalen Hurd, remember, he did that in a 15-game season. And I think he did his in 14 games because he was out injured one game. But so yeah, Deshaun's going to need a playoff round or two, I think, to catch up with Jalen Hurd. But nevertheless, the numbers he's putting up in the regular season, I think he's at 1,800 yards now.
1,800 yards. What is the single?
It's over 3,000. They factor in the playoffs, so I don't think there's just a regular season total for it. But he's got 4 regular season games left. Obviously, that would, if he ran for 300 in each of those, that's going to put him right at around 3,000. But he's going to need a few more games to get to the record. I can't remember the number off the top of my head, but it was well over 3,000.
Gotcha. Any surprises out there tonight?
Yeah, a lot of surprises. I think Powell Hall was the game that everybody was watching and probably had their eyes bugged out a little bit because Hall had the football with 5 minutes to go, 7-7 football game at Powell. And I don't think anybody had Hall picked in that game to not even compete, really. And they did that tonight. And so you got to credit that coaching staff for finding something in the schematics and the game plans to be able to give Powell trouble. They caused 3 turnovers. They blocked a Powell kick and did everything that they needed to do defensively to give themselves a chance in that football game. Give Powell's defense credit. We kind of ripped Powell's defense early in the season because it was so bad, but they've really actually been good over the last 3 or 4 weeks. And eventually, kind of hard to hold that offense down. And their slot receiver, Jaden Collins, had a big day. I think he had 130 yards receiving and both touchdowns that led to the win. But that was certainly a game that I didn't expect to see being 14-7.
Yeah, that was one of those, you're on the sideline all night following that and just saying to yourself, how in the world is this, what's going on over there?
Yeah, it was a weird week. Even going back to last night, I had Alcoa picked to win that football game by 4 touchdowns. And that was probably disrespectful in West High School's eyes, but that was a West football team that, even though they were ranked number 1 in the state and they were undefeated, they had played really bad the week before against Sevier County. They have 4 of their top players out injured, not really sure if they're going to come back at all. And, how do you hobble into a game against Alcoa feeling confident? And they somehow found a way to turn Alcoa over. I know penalties were a big issue, but they kept coming back and making plays to either force overtime or go up in overtime. And it was fun to watch from a drama standpoint. But that was just another game that we didn't expect to go that way.
Jesse, we've noticed, is it Gordonsville that Cofield played tonight?
Gordonsville, yeah. They was a top 10 team in the state, I believe.
And which classification?
1A football.
Oh, okay, so they're 1A football. Okay, we're not real educated. I sell toilet paper and he's retired.
Well, I mean, Gordonsville's not your team that everybody's talking about in 1A. Fayetteville won it last year, beating South Pittsburgh by 6 points, and then Peabody, which has won the last 3 2A state championships, they got reclassified into 1A. So not a lot of people are talking about this Gordonsville team. It's a top 10 team in the state, according to the Associated Press. But I thought Cofield would win that football game. But again, I don't know the personnel that Gordonsville has, but they definitely showed to some people around the state that they should be mentioned in these 1A conversations. So 1A is going to be a really strong football bracket this year, and looking forward to that playoff.
David asked for some clarification earlier, and I think I answered his question, but I'm going to go to the expert. Is Powell ranked number 2 or 3, and West is ranked number 1 in 5A? Is that correct?
West was number 1 in the 5A rankings in the Associated Press this week. So I can't recall what Powell is. I know they got some first-place votes, but West was a resounding number 1. I mean, they had a lot of first-place votes in that.
But now, in your poll, you've got Powell over West. Is that correct?
Correct, yeah. West was, again, I still had some question marks about that team. I think I still had them in my top 10, but I had Powell ahead of West, yes.
I still got a question mark about West, too. And if that gets better, that defense is good, they might win football games.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to keep it low scoring and hope that their offense can produce maybe 14 to 20 points a game, maybe a little bit more. But, yeah, the way that they played defense last night was unbelievable.
They've got 2 good running backs. I watched them a couple weeks ago at Fulton. Both of those running backs, is it Latham and Mattress?
Well, Mattress played last night, yeah. Latham's number 14. He's a junior. He's really come on this year.
Yep.
Trayvon Barfield is a guy who averaged 13 yards a carry last year. And he's one of the guys that's hurt. He got turf toe, and he tried to play early in that game against Alcoa last night, but limped off the field. And I was just like, how are these guys going to compete in this game? All their best players are hurt, other than Latham. But that defense with Noah Geiger and just Masters plays on defense too, but he played some spot offense at running back last night. I mean, they just keep finding ways to win football games or to compete. So a lot of that is attributable to a head coach, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Real quick, I know you've got a lot to do, but is there anything next week that caught your attention? Like in our area tonight, we only had one team win a football game, and it was Rockwood. And most people are on the road. Is there anything next week is region play start back up next week?
Yeah, well, first off, I want to shout out Rockwood because they were a team that we were really high on coming into the season. And I know the injury to their starting quarterback, Bryson Turner, really was a setback that I didn't know how it would affect that football team. And for them to put up 63 tonight on Harriman in the oldest rivalry in the state, I think that's a positive sign for head coach John Webb and the Rockwood Tigers to take that and try to build off of as they go into the home stretch of the season. But next week, you got Carter at Anderson County. Carter coming off a kind of a head-scratching performance tonight against Carnes, and I know that wasn't a region game, but they just didn't look engaged mentally at times in that football game, and then put themselves into a position where they were trying to rally from down 34-7. And we've talked, or I've talked all year on this show about Anderson County not pressing the panic button, but how can you not press that button now when you lose your starting quarterback? I know tonight's loss at Elizabethton, again, not a region game, but that's a team that they are wanting to topple in the postseason. It's all eyes on Anderson County as they tried to piece together a makeshift offensive game plan for the next 3-4 weeks and solidify that playoff spot. So that's a game that we'll definitely be watching, that Carter to Anderson County game. That's a big region game.
Very big. And then you got the Fulton Seymour or South Doyle game as well. So,
yeah, and South Doyle coming off of a loss to Farragut tonight. Again, not a region game, but it's definitely one that I think that they wanted to win, and they probably expected to win and didn't. That's 2 losses in a row now for South Doyle, so you wonder where they are. You mentioned Seymour, I think maybe by accident. Seymour's 5-1 now.
I noticed they won tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, 5-1, and I know they're not playing state-ranked teams or anything, but after going winless last year and to come back with a 5-1 start, that's an awesome story to see.
Then I think the biggest game around here for us next week will be Oak Ridge and Powell.
Right, it's time for Oak Ridge to do something. I mean, they have to do something. I mean, from just getting some momentum. I mean, they have to find a way to win this football game, and I don't know how. That's almost asking the impossible a little bit against a good Powell team. I'm sure it's going to be motivated coming off of a lackluster performance against Hall. So we'll see what Oak Ridge comes up with. But they have to win the football game soon.
You asked, we were talking about something earlier off the air. Catholic, have they made the playoffs since they've went to the big boy football in?
Yeah, they have. They haven't done much in the postseason once they got there. It's definitely something that we'll be monitoring with them. I mean, that win over Baylor a couple of weeks ago was big in terms of Catholic trying to lock down a playoff spot. Of course, they ended up losing to McCauley the next week or the next game. But over the next few weeks, I mean, that'll definitely determine whether or not they get into the postseason and how far they could go.
Gotcha. Well, Jesse, we'll let you go. I know you've got a lot of work ahead of you, and we appreciate you calling in, and safe travels back to the house.
All right, guys. I appreciate it. Talk to you next week.
See you, Jesse. Thank you, man. Quick caller, you're on the air.
How you doing?
Doing good. How you doing?
Hey, doing good. Coming back down 58.
What happened down there tonight? That was a game that I think a lot of us thought Clinton would win, and come out of there looking for their 4th win this season and getting it. What went on down there?
Well, it was a good game. Chattanooga Central, they scored first. We come right back, tied it up. And then we had a big turnover right there midway the second quarter, and they botched the punt. And we turned right around, getting ready to score, and had a pass intercepted. Probably should have been caught, and they ran it back pretty much all the way down inside the 5, and they ended up scoring, went up 14-7. And then right before halftime, we had a field goal blocked, and then we had it down there again close to scoring right before halftime, and they held it. So we're down 14-7 halftime, and they come out in the third quarter and had it on their end of the field. I know at least 3 or 4 times there in the third quarter. Couldn't punch it in. We had a fumble down there once, and they held us out. Chattanooga Central, they faked the punt there deep in their territory in the third quarter. It was like 4th and 4, and he ran it all the way back for a touchdown. A fake punt, went up 20-7. They missed extra points. We rallied. Joshua Keith got banged up there, hurt a little bit. I really don't know. Seemed to be okay. He was on the sidelines the rest of the game. I think it was in the fourth quarter. No, third quarter when he got taken up there late in the third, and then he come out, and Trey Stackerson come in. Let us down, hit a touchdown pass, I think, to Andy King.
Hey, John, how many penalties tonight?
End up going for 2. Go ahead, David.
How many penalties tonight against Clinton?
We had quite a few. I don't know exactly the number.
Seemed like there was a lot from everybody that's called. We've heard a lot of penalties, a lot of illegal procedures, and just sloppy football.
And the punt return you're talking about on the fake punt, it was 79 yards.
Oh, they scored on a fake punt?
Okay, I knew it was a long way.
Yeah, 79.
I was just saying, what's your fake? And I didn't think he'd really do it, but we did it. He got around the corner and he was gone. But I don't, sort of a high snap. I don't know if he was designed fake or not, but he took off with it, and that was the winning points right there. But we almost came back. Had the ball there late, driving, and they held us.
Well, Clinton's got a rebound next week and get. Did he leave us?
Yeah, must have lost him. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, yeah, it's Michael from over here in North Knoxville, Tennessee. I had a question for you, Anderson County folks. So Clinton's got a pretty good football team this year, but yet they're scared to play Anderson County. What's your thoughts on that?
Scared to play them?
Yeah, rumor is they're scared to play them.
I don't know about scared to play them. I mean, they've played each other for, 20-some years straight?
20-some years, yeah, something like that.
And this year, they didn't play.
Well, what was the reason this year? I mean, Clinton got a pretty good football team.
I'll let David answer that. I'm not sure.
I have no idea. I don't have anything to do with the program, so I couldn't tell you.
It's a little weird that they don't play, in my opinion. I hate that they don't play. I know Coach Keith.
That's two county school teams right there. I mean, not too far from each other.
That's true. There's a lot of county teams don't play each other. I mean, around here, so it's no big deal. It's not a big deal to me. So, not a big deal to you, but it's not a big deal to me.
You hear a lot of rumblings about that?
I've not lost any sleep over it, okay? And I'm a Clinton guy. Not any.
Are you the one that painted the black lines on the field?
I heard that was you that painted that black line on that field.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Good call, you on there.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
What's up?
Hey, okay, so I'm gonna take you on a little ride here. So Jellicoe, who's traditionally not that great at football, beats the dog out of Sunbright. Cofield walked the dog over Sunbright. Played a Carter team last week that I thought was better than what they are, apparently, because Carnes, as well, is not traditionally good at football, and they beat Carter like a dog, and then Cofield gets shut out at home. Maybe, I'm sure a lot of my hometown people ain't going to be real happy with what I'm about to say, but maybe we're not as good as we thought we were.
Well, you played a 5A football team in Carter. I will agree with you. After watching Gibbs, I don't think Carter's overly good to be 5A. Or 4A, excuse me, 4A. I don't think they're overly good. I don't think they're bad. I think they could beat a lot of teams in Knoxville. I think Cofield did the right thing by playing Carter. I think that was hey, we're not scared, we'll play anybody. And it was smart. But, I would say Cofield, probably gets back on the winning side of things and could run the table for the next, 5, 6, 7 weeks.
Yeah, but the team they played tonight, they're ranked in the top 10 somewhere. I don't know where
they're top 10 in the state.
Yeah.
Well, so is Cofield.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
But, I'm just wondering, though, how much of that do you think was them hearing all week about how you took a big 5A school to the line and they scored with 7 seconds to go. You guys are, you really fought hard and you played good. Do you think they might have got a little big head off of a loss? I mean, I know I hate to say it like that, but I mean, they got told how well they did, even in a loss.
If they did, they got their attention tonight.
Yeah, got their attention tonight. You're right. Well, listen, I think the game last week with Cofield and Carter was a good football game for Cofield, and they should have been told how well they played. I think that. I don't know, just from what I would understand of that program, what I think I know about it, I don't think any of those kids got the big head. I mean, I think it's expectations down there, so is to play everybody tough. So, you know, they had a bad night tonight. I told him, I mean, this has to make them better about 5 weeks from now when they get in that grind of where you're playing everybody that's pretty good on Friday night, and you don't have those Oakdales to play, and you don't have the Wartburg to play. You got to play. Everybody that you play is good. So I think maybe these 2 losses benefits somewhere. It benefits Cofield somewhere down the line. Now, could I be wrong? You got it. I could be.
And Cofield had the ball in the red zone 5 times and came away with 0 points.
5 times
because of the penalties.
Well, you know, as we all know, you know, there's a lot of times in the past, Cofield's had really good football teams, and whether it's South Pitt or somebody, Greenback or somebody, you know, that they always get them. So, you know, maybe this would be good for them playing some tougher teams and a bigger team. I'm like Cox. Cofield didn't run from Carter last week. They played them a good football game, but jump up in classifications that much and play. My hat's off, first of all, to Cofield for doing that. So I just think this makes Cofield a better football team 3, 4, 5 weeks down the road. I think it'll pay off greatly for them down the road.
And it shows the coaches.
Didn't Peabody move up or move back down to single A?
Yes, they're single A.
Yeah, they got put back in there.
That's a juggernaut.
Yeah, it is. So I think you got to play this type of schedule in order to compete with these people. You can't play cupcakes all year long and expect to go play these 2 teams right here we're talking about in Peabody and this. You can't play the cupcakes all year long and go compete with those teams that's going to hang a bunch of points on you.
And if you know you're going to dominate your region, you have to go play good teams.
Your non-region, this game tonight meant absolutely nothing to Cofield other than a loss. Nothing. Hopefully, it'll make them a better football team, and that's what I said about last week's game. A better football team down the road.
At the end of the day, can you go beat South Pitt to get to Chattanooga? That's what it's going to come down to.
That's the key.
And how do you get there, and how do you make that happen? That's what you're trying to figure out.
So are you better off being in a game that you win by 50, or are you better off being in a game with Carter where you just barely lose, or are you better off playing a team that's ranked in the top whatever in the state, and you just sure you get shut out and it's not fun, but does that make you a better football team even in a loss? And I think the answer to that is yes. And like I said, could I be wrong? You got it. I could be.
Now, does the bracket line up this year for Cofield to be on the road at South Pitt, or is this the year that that team comes this way?
I'm not for sure.
Tell me this: which region are you?
Cofield's I believe they're Region 1.
So we think, and we were trying to find this the other night, we think that Region 1 will host this year and the other region will host next year. Because I think...
Because, it alternates.
Yes. Yeah. And somebody from Anderson County knows the answer to this question. And if I'm wrong, then I think Anderson County would have to go to Greenville and play a semifinal game, or South Dole, or Fulton, whoever that might be, would have to travel. And last year, Cofield had to go to South Pitt because it was the 4th year of the contract.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm thinking it's Region 1's time to host.
So listen, get off the ledge and get back down on the ground. I think everything's going to be all right with Cofield.
I'm not jumping off a ledge or nothing. I'm just.
No, you sound like you're about to jump. Don't jump. It's going to be okay. But I understand. I do agree with you a little bit and can see where you're coming from. But I think it just benefits Cofield. I think this tough schedule benefits Cofield. It lets them know, hey, maybe we're not that good. We got to play a little bit. We got to play a little bit harder.
Yep.
And I think it'll be all right.
I'd like to get another shot at Gordonsville.
Well, maybe you get another shot at him here in a week or two.
If you got in there 5 times and didn't score a point, I'm sure everybody'd like to get another shot at them.
Yep.
Hey, penalties, man. We shot ourselves in the foot, man. Holding, false starts, offensive pass interference. I mean, it was just, we beat her. We done everything we could to hit ourselves on the big toe with a hammer,
Hey, tell me this, change subject real quick. Did you watch the documentary that 5 Star did on Cofield?
I did not.
Okay.
What are you going to do tomorrow if the Gators get beat?
Eat chicken wings and be sad.
Drink water?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think you got to worry about that, but, you never know.
Well, I mean, coming back around to what you just said a minute ago about the Cofield game against Gordonsville not mattering, I feel like they didn't play Anthony Richardson last week because the Alabama game really don't matter. The East is what's important. And I feel like Anthony Richardson's going to show out tomorrow.
Well, I would think the game last week against Alabama with Florida meant something.
Yeah.
A lot of something, because they would have knocked off the #1 team in the country. And not only that, that would probably help them in recruiting like you wouldn't believe.
I think they could have won the game against, I think as a Florida fan, you've got your orange and blue goggles on, because if they win that football game and they lose to Georgia and they don't play in the SEC, they're in the playoffs.
Yep. That's how big that
game was. That's how big that extra point was.
And
if you win that football game, you're in the playoffs regardless of what happens to Georgia.
And here's something else. Alabama is not that good.
Neither is Tennessee.
Well, I know that. You don't have to tell me about that about Tennessee, but traditionally Alabama, I mean, that's the #1 team.
You need to say Alabama's not as good as they have been.
They have. I'll say that. Let me rephrase that. Alabama's not as good as they have been. Now, maybe they will be at the end of the year, but right now, no.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. The best 11 guys that I've seen play football all year was Georgia's defense against Clemson so far.
Clemson's terrible.
Yeah, Clemson's not that good.
But Georgia looked great.
And I'll tell you somebody last week for Alabama that looked completely out of place, and that's Toto. He didn't look in place. I don't even know if he knows what's going on down there. He looked.
He looked like he did here. They're in his own defense, and the guy's catching the ball right beside him for a first down.
Yeah, so he didn't. He didn't have a clue last week.
And he was over pursuing so hard. Like the line would be blocking to the right, the running back would cut back to the left. He'd be 3 yards. He'd be 3 yards out of position. That's why Florida got so many running yards on them cutback runs.
And if you look at the commentators, they even commented about him looked like he's out of place a lot. So I don't know that. I'm wondering if he's as good as what everybody up here thought he was. Maybe he is.
Dan Mullen's second best coach in the SEC.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
He's behind Josh Heupel.
Yeah. I was thinking Lane Kiffin, Dan Mullen, Heupel.
Lane Kiffin be third.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin's third.
Listen, Ole Miss is dang. Ole Miss play Alabama this year?
Hey, I'm going to watch that Ole Miss Alabama game.
You are?
Yeah.
Well, that'll be a shoot. Alabama might hang 50 on them.
Next Saturday.
Ole Miss might hang 50 on them.
Where's
Saturday.
that game at? Alabama.
Is it Alabama?
Yeah.
It's in Alabama. Yeah.
Yeah.
At Alabama.
Well, don't get too upset about it tonight. You'll be all right. It'll be better next Friday.
Oh, I know. I'm just, I'm just trying to put 2 and 2 together and figure out why the same team that I saw play last Friday night didn't show up tonight.
Maybe Gordonsville's better than Carter.
Well, obviously.
Maybe those 16-year-old boys had a rough night.
I see you, man. Bye.
Go Vols.
See you, man. Great call. You're on the air.
Hey, David Quino, I have a question to ask you.
Okay.
If we make it to the playoffs, who we will play in the first round?
No clue.
Not a clue.
Not a clue. It would be somebody from Region 1, and we have no clue who that would be. I would say it would be the #1 seed, because I think if Clinton gets in the playoffs, it'd be as a 4 seed.
And that would be probably West? Maybe.
That's a good question.
We don't know. We might know here. In a couple weeks,
wouldn't it be from the 5A region
Well, it won't be here locally, will it? No, it will be, won't it?
Are they Region 2? Is Clinton Region 2?
I don't know.
No, we're in Region 3.
Okay, then you play Region 4, Ray County.
Yeah, Ray County. Ray County. Probably Ray County.
Ray County?
Yeah.
All
right, bud.
All right.
See you.
All right, thank you. Bye.
All right, let's jump out and take another break. We'll be right back on the Free Medical Clinic Friday Night Scoreboard. Give us a call. We'll talk Tennessee football, or we'll go home.
Many of our neighbors are living in fear of becoming sick or injured because they do not have health insurance or can't afford to go to the doctor. The Free Medical Clinic is solving that problem by providing free, no-charge primary care clinics in Oak Ridge, Harriman, and Briceville for residents in Anderson, Morgan, and Roane counties. But we don't accomplish this alone. There is no way we can create a better future for our community members by ourselves. It takes all of us. We thank each of our valuable partners in helping the Free Medical Clinic end the fear of those who can't afford medical care. On behalf of our thousands of patients, thank you.
I enjoy living and raising a family in East Tennessee because it's always been home to me. One thing that makes Foxy Insurance Group stand out from other agencies is our customer service. Insurance, a lot of times, for a lot of people, is not something they really like to deal with, so I like to be there for them and help them through the process. It makes me feel good when I know my customer can rely on me and trust me. Yes, I'm very excited Foxy Insurance Group is now an independent agency. It opens up so many doors for our customers and the agency as a whole, and we're going to be there for you when you need us the most.
You call your agent with a simple question, only to get sent to voicemail again. We pick up the phone. Did you get this? Hello, this is Sam. How can I help you? Like I said, we pick up the phone because it's ringing. That's simple human sense.
Ask Griffin Insurance Agency in Kingston if auto owners make sense for you.
Hello, this is Sam.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
Make this spring all about enjoying the experience. When you ride on your new Ferris commercial mower featuring patented suspension technology, you'll have more than freshly manicured grass. You'll experience productivity and comfort like never before. And because you won't be slowing down for those rough spots, you'll mow more lawn in less time. Ferris, experience suspension.
Your local Ferris dealer is S.L. Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood. Call 865-354-0600.
American Outdoor Equipment has a great new location in Rockwood. They are a Branson tractor dealer with various sizes to choose from. Branson's greatest asset is their strength, quality, and features. But American Outdoor Equipment also has Bobcat mowers. You can expect the best when it comes to performance, durability, and comfort with a Bobcat mower. Or how about a Dixie chopper mower? They're the world's fastest lawn mowers. They have a large service and parts department. They are family owned and operated, plus they offer in-house financing. That's American Outdoor Equipment in Rockwood.
1952. That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores and there's always something new. Like in Hammers' popular ladies boutique department, you'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammers.
Welcome back to the Free Medical Clinic Friday Night Scoreboard. And folks, if you need some medical care, give these folks a call or go to their website, fmcor.org, and don't live in fear with it, that if you don't have any insurance, they'll take care of you. Oak Ridge, Harriman, and
Briceville, give them a call. You can go online and get a number, and I looked at that last week. I wrote that down somewhere at my house, but I didn't bring it in. I was going to give you a phone number for all three of them. So it is online, so you can do that. So
I just got a text, Florida 56, Tennessee 17.
You know, here's how I
What
feel.
time's that kickoff tomorrow night?
7 o'clock's prime time.
7? Oh, that ain't prime time. 3:30's prime time.
Well, they say it's prime time.
Who's in the 3:30 game?
I have no idea.
It's a national game.
It's a national game. So, you listen, you know,
This is the first time that I can remember in a long time that Florida's not been 3:30.
Will Tennessee get run tomorrow pretty bad? I think they will. But are you willing to bet any money that Tennessee gets really blowed out tomorrow? Would you actually go somewhere and lay some money down?
What's the line?
I don't have a clue what the line is. 18.5?
I'd take Florida.
You would? Well,
yeah.
See, that's when Tennessee just runs it, and they'll do the opposite. Watch and see. I'm not saying Tennessee's going to win.
Sounds like though people think Tennessee's going to cover. The line's going down.
I don't know that Tennessee's going to get beat 57-16 or whatever you just said. So I don't have any idea about that.
I think if the other quarterback's obviously going to play for Florida, he'll be out there. He's nursing a hamstring last week.
Is that Richardson?
Yeah,
He was talking about earlier. Eric was talking about earlier.
I think it could get ugly in the swamp. I'd feel better if Casey Clausen was going down there.
I thought you was going to say you'd feel better if Peyton Manning was going down there.
He never won down there.
That's exactly right. That's why he's not no good.
But Clausen did.
Yeah.
Clausen did. That's what changed Tennessee football that night. LSU's backup quarterback came back and beat Clausen and the Vols. They could go to the Rose Bowl, win the Rose Bowl, win the national championship. Instead, they get beat by a backup quarterback. They're at the Citrus Bowl, and it never was the same after that night.
Yeah, and I thought, I also blame.
Think about how dominant we were back then.
I also blame Fulmer for a little bit of that too, because I think he sat on his hands and recruiting wise. You know, I'll never forget Ron Berry sitting right here. I don't remember which side he was sitting on, probably over here and I was over there. And all he was wanting to talk about is everybody that Tennessee recruited that year was on campus and in school. And Dennis Rogan was one of those guys. How many of those recruits from that class finished at Tennessee?
And not many.
Well,
number one recruiting class in the country, wasn't it?
How many finished at Tennessee?
Not many.
I think you'll be shocked when you find out.
What, 4?
I think it's less. I think it's 3.
3.
I don't know that I'm right, but I think that's right. Not very many. So for such a highly recruited class that came in that didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
Did you see where they're trying to make a rule that people that transfer out get to add back that number?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it doesn't.
The transfer portal.
Like it did us last year.
Yeah. The transfer portal has changed college sports.
I heard somebody talk about Alabama. They said Alabama, that's what Alabama is. That's how Alabama is plugging their holes. It's off the transfer portal. They're going out and they're cherry picking who they want. They don't just take anybody. They're taking who they want to fill certain needs.
I was with.
But I didn't know he was originally recruited by Alabama and was committed to Alabama, and Pruitt flipped him. Yeah. And Pruitt flipped him. Yeah, well, yeah. That's probably right.
I'll tell you this before real quick to finish transfer portal. Tennessee's tennis coach. I was with him. This was back a year ago. He said, "I want to recruit 18-year-olds, but when I've got a good team and I need to fill one hole, am I going to fill it with an 18-year-old or a 21-year-old that's played college? You know, it's got the experience.
I can
he
see
said
that.
you have to fill your holes with transfers.
You have to fill them with transfers.
Yeah, you don't have an option. And it's making the kids come out of high school not have as many spots, but you have to fill them. You know, do you want to bring an 18-year-old and try to get him ready, or do you get the 22-year-old and win the SEC championship?
Well, do you have time as a coach now to actually get that guy ready to win an SEC championship or a national? Do you have time to coach him up and get him ready?
What have you done for me lately?
That's right. What have you done for me lately? Quick caller, you on the air.
Hey.
Hey.
David Colonel.
Yeah.
48-38, the final tomorrow. Tennessee wins by 10.
Tennessee wins by 10 tomorrow, 48-38.
You going to the game, Anthony?
To Florida. Anthony ain't going. He won't get out of Clemson.
No, I will be going October 16th, the Ole Miss game.
Are you?
All right. Well,
you going to wear your Ole Miss shirt and cheer for the lane train?
No, I'm not.
He's not. All right, Anthony, I hope you're right. All right, see you, bud. All right, see you, bud. Well, Anthony thinks that Tennessee will win tomorrow, 48-38. I don't know if that's the case or not. I'm going to say about 35-10. Florida.
35-10?
Yeah, something like that. I've not been close to it this year, any period. Every time I've guessed, it's been a whole lot more than what I've said. Either way, so here's what I think's wrong with Tennessee right now. Our strong suit was really supposed to be wide receivers, even though they're young. Not happened. Our next strong suit was supposed to be our offensive line. I don't think that's anywhere close. Our quarterbacks, everybody was so tickled that we got this transfer from Michigan that looks the part and everything. And
When's he gonna play?
Cox, I don't think he
is he not eligible?
No, I'm talking about he's hurt. The kid from Michigan that got hurt.
Oh, okay.
He's eligible.
Okay.
Yeah, Milton, is it Milton, I believe? You know, listen, if he couldn't cut it at Michigan, why do we think here in Tennessee he could cut it at Tennessee? I mean,
but I don't know.
I mean,
he was bad in the Big Ten. If you're bad in the Big Ten, how you gonna be good in the SEC?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
How are you? I mean, I don't think it takes to be a rocket scientist to answer that question. So, the next thing is, do we have a quarterback? I don't know if we do have a quarterback. The Hooker kid, he didn't play too bad last week, but look who they were playing. They should have beat Tennessee Tech by 50.
I agree.
I mean, let's just be honest.
I just had a text come through that says we need to start drug testing our callers.
Drug testing our callers. We probably do. That's probably not a bad idea. Well, I thought somebody called, but they didn't stay with us.
No, they didn't stay with us.
Anyway, I mean, that's my thought about it. Tennessee's a long ways from being where they want to be. Will they get there? Defensively, Tennessee's not played too bad. Now, there is a kid at Tennessee that just got eligible last week. It's a defensive
from Texas.
From Texas. I think that guy's going to play. He'll pay off a little bit, maybe a little bit this year. So we'll see. Tennessee is playing a little bit better on defense than they have been. But they still have a problem tackling. They still don't tackle very well.
Take a guess how many passing yards Anderson County had tonight.
None. 10. 5?
5.
Well, I was told they was going to run the rock tonight.
So you were told that?
Yep.
So take a guess on how many carries Gavin Noe had.
I'll say Gavin Noe probably had 30 carries, 150 yards.
24 carries, 5 yards a carry.
How many? 24 carries, 5 yards a carry? That's close, man. I went off too bad. What about the Moot kid, or whatever his name is? How many did he have?
Moog had 10 carries for 27
yards is all he had?
Yep.
Wow, I would have thought, first of all, I would have thought he'd have run the ball maybe 10 more times. It sounds to me like Harris County didn't have a lot of possessions.
Yeah, they must not have. I mean, that's only, and they had a kid rusher for 4 and a kid rusher for 3, so, and they only attempted 6 passes. So I guess.
Well, like we opened the show up with, you hate to see any kid get hurt. I don't care who it is, if it's a.
Oh, they ran the play clock down. Anderson County did and held the ball.
And just held the ball.
They had the ball for 30 minutes of the game. Elizabeth and have it for 17.
So they try to play a little ball control on them. I think that's what they're going to have to do until this young man that's playing quarterback right now either gets a little bit more comfortable. I don't know how much he's played quarterback. I don't even know if he's played quarterback in the past.
Harrison County only had 206 yards of offense.
And normally, what do they have?
I'd say 350 is what
350, 400, something like that.
I bet they average 350.
So Gavin knows he's close to what he normally does I mean, he's in the ballpark. Where they were off tonight is probably they would have had 100 and some yards passing, and they didn't have that passing tonight. Yeah. And when teams know you're one-dimensional, you know, you just lay your ears back and come.
Yep.
So, you know, Anderson County, they're going to have to get back to the drawing board and figure this out. So,
interesting.
It's interesting. It sure is. I'm going to call you on there.
Hey, David, I had a couple of questions.
Okay.
Talking about the SEC, we're expanding. You know, we got Oklahoma and Texas coming in 2025, I believe it is.
Uh-huh.
But how do you all feel about them coming in, going that far out? You know, back when I was growing up, the SEC was surrounding states. And, you know, why not maybe get Ohio State and Clemson to join Florida State? That's more SEC. And the college playoff, have they expanded it this year?
No.
No, not yet. It goes to 8 next year.
They've not expanded.
I did a listen to Paul's Feinball show and different ones trying to hear, because you hear them talk about it all the time, but I never heard them come out and say what they decided. So,
no, they're talking about it, but it's going to go to 8. They're trying to get, I think, to 10 or 12?
I don't know. I
don't think it'll go to 10. I don't think it'll ever go to 12. Do you think it'll ever go to 12?
This year, can you imagine having 8 teams? The 1 seed would play the 8 seed and probably be a 25-point favorite.
Yeah.
Well, we have playoffs in high school ball. We have it in pro ball. I don't understand why we couldn't when they started this, you know, back in the day. But I'll hang up listening to your comments about the expansion of the SEC. Enjoy the show.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Well, what's your thoughts on the expansion?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Well, listen, I think Oklahoma thought the SEC is going to shut the rest of the country out. There's a possibility, and just think about this a minute. Do you think you'd ever see the day maybe where Alabama, Florida, Georgia, and A&M I don't think LSU is going to be in the mix for a while until they make a coaching change. Do you ever think there'd be a day where there'd be 4 SEC teams possibly in the playoffs? Just possible. Could there be 3? Could there be 3?
If Penn State runs the table, the SEC will get 2 definites.
Okay. But let's just say Penn State's like they were last year, not very good. So maybe there's an outside chance. And let's just say Ohio State's a little bit better, because I don't think Ohio State's that good this year.
I don't think the ACC gets a team in this year.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's why Oklahoma and Tech now.
They got a better chance to make the playoffs.
I probably wouldn't want Oklahoma in, because Oklahoma has played probably better football in the last 4 years overall than Texas. I don't think, can Steve Sarkisian turn Texas around? Man, it's going to be a job.
Not moving into the SEC. That's
not moving
hard.
into the SEC. And to that guy's point, he said 2020. He said 2025. I have heard that Texas and Oklahoma are going to pay the buyout, and possibly be in 2022. They will be in the SEC.
I've heard that as well.
I don't know if that's going to. I don't know if that'll happen. Yeah. That's just what I've been told.
I'm not.
By some people.
I'm not a fan of the SEC getting bigger. I don't necessarily think they had to do that, but I think Oklahoma and I think Texas had a good understanding of what was about to happen around the country, and it was either, do I want to go to BYU and Washington State and Oregon, or do I want to join the SEC? And I think if you look at 2 programs that historically could come into the SEC and make that league better, those were 2 that could come in and make it better. Now, my question is, how do you get rid of Vandy? Or does Vandy go independent? You think Vandy really wants, is it the money that Vandy that keeps them hanging around the SEC?
They say that's why Oklahoma's coming, it's because of money too, a little bit too. Yeah. Texas now, they talk about Texas.
Their Longhorn Network and all that.
They've got all that other stuff. But now I also have heard that Texas is not going to be easy to play with as far as financial stuff. because Texas is all about Texas, and they want it to be about them, only about them.
Yep.
Well, that's not the case in the SEC. It's Alabama. Texas will come down the line a little bit because Alabama's the team that it's all about in the SEC, along with we'll throw Georgia and Florida and Texas A&M and LSU. And I hate not to even mention Tennessee's name. I think Tennessee's program will be back one of these days. I don't know if I ever said it or not, but maybe they will be, so I don't have any idea. Folks, final call, 483-8112. Give us a call. And, Cox, what do you think the score will be tomorrow?
42-17, Gators.
Gators?
Yeah. I think that's pretty good. Maybe if we can get a couple turnovers and they don't, it might be a little closer, but, I mean...
I wasn't here last week, but I really thought, and I want to go back to the Pittsburgh. Tennessee really disappointed me against Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh wasn't that good.
Yeah, it should have been a win.
I sat there and watched it. We gave away 3 touchdowns in the first 3 drives.
So now, doesn't that mean Tennessee's got to maybe knock somebody off to get bowl eligible?
For sure. You've got to beat South Carolina. You got to beat South Carolina. They've got 2 wins right now. Correct?
Yeah, they're 2-1.
Yeah. They got to beat South Carolina, Missouri, Kentucky, and then their little cupcake that they got toward the end. West.
Do you think that Ole Miss will lay it on Tennessee when they come in here?
Yes.
Do you think it'll be Kiffin to run it up?
They'll score 40 or 50 points. Yeah.
He's got a pretty good football team down there.
Tennessee's problem is not scoring this year. Their problem is they're averaging like 30-something a game, but they're giving up 40-something a game.
Yeah, and I just made the comment, they're playing better defense than they were last year. Just think if we had last year's team, it wouldn't be 40, it'd be 60. So, anyway. Who's the game of the week next week? It's at Midway, right? The OEB game of the week next week, Coalfield and Midway. It's at Midway. I'm assuming that's a 7:30 kickoff. Pre-game will start at 7. There's a lot of really good games next week. Big game around in this area will be Oak Ridge and Powell. Friday night, Thursday night is a TV game. It's Carter and Anderson County. Who's Fulton got next week?
South Dole.
Oh, that's right. That's a big football game right there. Campbell County is at, I think, Clinton next Friday night. Somebody said it was I think homecoming's been canceled at Clinton. I don't think it's next Friday. I think it's the next Friday, I think. There's an event going on in Clinton where some streets will be closed that the parade goes on. I think I'm right on that. I was told that this week. We appreciate the free medical clinic sponsoring the Friday Night Scoreboard. Folks, like I said, get on their website, fmcor.org, and check them out. Just don't live in fear that you don't have any insurance. They got offices in Oak Ridge, Harriman, Briceville. Check them out if you need them. We appreciate all of our sponsors here. Appreciate OEB doing the game of the week. He does a lot of good things for high school football around here. Until next Friday night, we'll see you right back here on the Free Medical Clinic Friday Night Scoreboard. We'll see you next Friday.
Many of our neighbors are living in fear of becoming sick or injured because they do not have health insurance or can't afford to go to the doctor. The Free Medical Clinic is solving that problem by providing free, no-charge primary care clinics in Oak Ridge, Harriman, and Briceville for residents in Anderson, Morgan, and Roane counties. But we don't accomplish this alone. There's no way we can create a better future for our community members by ourselves. It takes all of us. We thank each of our valuable partners in helping the Free Medical Clinic end the fear of those who can't afford medical care. On behalf of our thousands of patients, thank you.
American Outdoor Equipment has a great new location in Rockwood. They are a Branson tractor dealer with various sizes to choose from. Branson's greatest asset is their strength, quality, and features. But American Outdoor Equipment also has Bobcat mowers. You can expect the best when it comes to performance, durability, and comfort with a Bobcat mower. Or how about a Dixie chopper mower? They're the world's fastest lawn mowers. They have a large service and parts department. They are family owned and operated, plus they offer in-house financing. That's American Outdoor Equipment in Rockwood.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need. to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 110,000 participants here in Tennessee who take part in high school sports. I am a Simplicity dealer. This business is my life, my career. If you need a new mower, I'll help you choose the model that will make your property look its very best, and even let you take a test drive. When it does need service, you can rely on my factory service training and genuine parts. Because I don't just sell products, I build relationships. I am a Simplicity dealer.
SL Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
Your grandmother's fine china, those trendy sneakers, your collection of hand-carved duck decoys. Auto Owners protects your home. Because, well, somebody should. That's simple human sense.
Ask Griffin Insurance Agency in Kingston if auto owners make sense for you.
Oh, now you do your job.
Host your friends in style and be the envy of your neighborhood when entertaining this football season with natural gas appliances purchased from ORUD at 0% interest.
We can help you clean up after the game with a reliable natural gas water heater in the energy saving. Savings of a gas dryer.
Want to cozy up next to a natural gas fireplace after a chilly night at the field? Let ORUD help you with the play-by-play to truly make your house feel like home.
The 103rd edition of the Rockwood High School and Harriman High School rivalry kicks off tonight, and we've got the coverage on the OEB Law Game of the Week. Day or night, 24/7, someone will be there to answer and give you a free consultation and get to work on your case immediately. Call 865-546-1111 or visit the website full of helpful information, reckontoacheck.com. That's OEB Law. I'm Aaron Harvey, and for the 6th time this season, I'm joined by the coach, James Hoot Gibson. You know, you and I both grew up not too far from here, so we know quite a bit about this rivalry, but you grew up in the local football scene as your papa coached all over this area. What do you think when you think of this Harriman versus Rockwood rivalry?
Hard-hitting football comes to mind, and great atmospheres no matter what the circumstances. When these two teams play, the whole town comes out to watch, and each year Harriman folks grade their football team by the Rockwood score,
to the oldest rivalry in the state of Tennessee.
So I expect a good one.
2 different seasons so far as Harriman comes into this game with a 3-2 record, and Rockwood sits at a 1-3 record. But Rockwood has won this game for 4 straight years, and they've got to be expected to get the win tonight as well, right?
Well, as old Lee Corso says, not so fast, my friend. Listen, Rockwood has been without their quarterback for several weeks, and it has taken a toll on that offensive production, let me tell you. So if Harriman can win in the kicking game, get a few turnovers, play a good defensive game, this could go the Blue Devils' way. Rockwood isn't a healthy football team.
Yeah, you're talking about the starting quarterback. We saw him go out when we had the Rockwood versus Kingston game. He didn't finish that game. Instead, it was Adrian Fickey, who normally would line up on the outside. So that will definitely be something that we will see tonight, as Fickey will line up under center tonight as well. We'll get into this one a little bit deeper later, and also we'll catch up with what's going on around the area as well when we get back. You are tuned into the OEB Law Game of the Week.
David Collett. 51, Samuel McNally.
OEB Law is excited to be a part of this year's football season. School spirit is at an all-time high. OEB Law is proud to give back and support our community. Come cheer on these great teams with us. And remember, if you've been injured or need legal help, OEB Law will be there for you. So visit wreckintoacheck.com or give us a call, 865-546-1111, and let OEB Law turn your wreck into a check.
Patterson's Appliances has been helping families like yours find quality home appliances from trusted brands including Whirlpool, Maytag, and KitchenAid for over 55 years. Our knowledgeable appliance specialists know how to outfit your kitchen or laundry room with the right appliances to meet your needs. We service what we sell with our own in-house factory-trained service technicians. And for the DIYers, our parts department is always ready to help customers find the appliance parts they need. Patterson's Home Appliances, because we care.
I am a Simplicity dealer. This business is my life, my career. If you need a new mower, I'll help you choose the model that will make your property look its very best, and even let you take a test drive. When it does need service, you can rely on my factory service training and genuine parts. Because I don't just sell products, I build relationships. I am a Simplicity dealer.
S.L. Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
1952. That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores, and there's always something new. Like in Hammers' popular ladies' boutique department, you'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammers.
And welcome back to the OEB Law Game of the Week. So if we miss something that goes on in the game tonight, don't worry, the public address announcer has got you covered. We've got a speaker right in front of our window. It is very loud, so we apologize for that. But they've got a really good sound system here at Hammers.
They want to make sure people in Rockwood can hear the game.
That's right. You know, in Rockwood, as a former public address announcer myself, I can appreciate that. It is a little inconvenient for a broadcast, but that's okay. We'll work through it, and it will be fine. So, you know, we got to start out talking about the game last night on Rivalry Thursday. Alcoa narrowly edges West in double overtime, 21-20, after West has an extra point blocked, which ultimately was the difference there. West has high expectations, but maybe even more so after almost beating Gary Rankin's Tornadoes.
Yeah, that's a big statement. Listen, that's the first time in 4 years, excluding Maryville, since anyone has kept the game within 6 points or beat Alcoa. So that's a big statement right there.
Yeah, both teams are 5-1 on the season, as Alcoa will prepare for a home game against Cookeville, and West will go on the road to Heritage next week. It's a big night for Anderson County, as the Mavericks are going to try to build momentum from their huge win last week against South Doyle. Some bad news, though, as starting quarterback Walker Martinez is out indefinitely after having surgery on his wrist. Some more bad news, the backup is going to have to get broken in at Elizabethton. That is quite the task.
That is quite the task. And that's really bad news about Walker Martinez is he was really coming on strong. He was getting that Anderson County team kind of back on track after playing that tough schedule early on. So that's devastating news for Anderson County, but next man up. That's a difficult situation with Elizabethan, who is loaded on defense and who's coming off a big shutout over Granger County. So this is going to be a big game.
Yeah, it will. So we'll keep an eye on that one. A big challenge for Kingston tonight as the Yellow Jackets are in Campbell County to take on the 4-1 Cougars. The Roane County High School is trying to start the season 6-0 for the first time since 1998. Meanwhile, the Cougs are coming off their first loss at the hands of Carnes last week. How do you see this one?
Man, those Price brothers, they know how to put some offense up there, don't they? Carnes exposed a major weakness for Campbell County, okay? And that's that they are weak versus the run. So Kingston has been game planning all week long. I guarantee you game planning on how to expose that to their advantage. Will be a big game, and I know all of Kingston is fired up for this one.
Yeah, and that's what Kingston does well. They run the football. They were averaging somewhere between 300 and 400 yards per game on the ground. So I'd say that plays into Kingston's advantage, but we'll see, as that Campbell County team is not going to go down lightly, especially at home. So we've got a couple other things we can talk about, and of course we'll get into our matchup tonight, as it is the 103rd meeting between Rockwood and Harriman. So we'll get you all set for that one when we get back. This is the OEB Law Game of the Week.
Mulch & More in Midtown is your landscaping headquarters. They offer mulch, topsoil, all types of gravel, sand, rock, crab orchard stone, riprap stone, and limestone gravel. Mulch & More does light excavation work. Do you need a driveway repaired? They can do it. Plus, Mulch & More can do your water and sewer lines, French drains, and more with Ditch Witch services. So whether you only need a half cubic yard up to 20 cubic yards, Mulch & More can help you. Give Gary a call today at 865-234-7060 at Mulch & More in Midtown.
With one small step, you have the potential to make a big difference in this world. It starts here at Roane State Community College. There's never been a greater need for health science graduates, and Roane State has the program to get you there. With 11 different health science degrees and 7 certificates offered, the choice is yours. Roane State, healthcare heroes start here. Apply now at roanestate.edu.
American Outdoor Equipment has a great new location in Rockwood. They are a Branson tractor dealer with various sizes to choose from. Branson's greatest asset is their strength, quality, and features. But American Outdoor Equipment also has Bobcat mowers. You can expect the best when it comes to performance, durability, and comfort with a Bobcat mower. Or how about a Dixie chopper mower? They're the world's fastest lawn mowers. They have a large service and parts department. They are family owned and operated, plus they offer in-house financing. That's American Outdoor Equipment in Rockwood.
You call your agent with a simple question, only to get sent to voicemail again. We pick up the phone. Get this. Hello, this is Sam. How can I help you? Like I said, we pick up the phone because it's ringing. That's simple human sense.
Ask Griffin Insurance Agency in Kingston if auto owners make sense for you.
Hello, this is Sam.
Energize your home with natural gas from ORUD, your affordable energy choice. See all the ways natural gas can improve your home by visiting one of the ORUD showrooms in Oak Ridge or Kingston. New gas appliances run more efficiently. They provide hot water when you need it, precise heat control for cooking, and can dry clothes in about half the time. Comfort you can feel. Savings you can use. ORUD Natural Gas.
Be honest.
Welcome back into the OEB Law Game of the Week. I'm Aaron Harvey, joined by James Coach Gibson, and we are getting ready to have the playing of our national anthem. So let's stand by for that.
Thank you. Please remain standing for our national anthem being played tonight by the Harriman Rhapsody in Blue Band.
There is nary a combination better than the national anthem and sports. I tell you what, just gets me going every single time. I love that.
The administration would like
So,
to welcome
let's talk
home
about some other things going on around the area as we're back at our OAB Law Game of the Week. You know, an interesting matchup out of region and classification sees Farragut at South Doyle this week. The Admirals are 1-4 so far, and the Cherokee suffered their only loss on our television station just last week against Anderson County. This one has potential to be fun.
Yeah, it really does. I'm anxious to see how Farragut comes out tonight after a few disappointing losses. You know, this year's been tough for them. So I'm anxious to see how those kids come out, if they come out dead, if they're coming out fired up.
It has been a gauntlet of a schedule for Farragut, so we got to mention that as well. You know, 2 5-0 teams get together in Greenville tonight when Dobbins-Bennett gets there. DB, of course, is 6A school. Greenville, a favorite in 4A. Does the smaller school get the win tonight?
Well, they stand a good chance, as Greenville is one of the best teams in the state, but that's all classifications. But Dobbins-Bennett is loaded at the skill positions, so I'll be watching the score to this one.
Coalfield has a home game tonight against Gordonsville, which is one of those games we could see late in the playoffs as well. The two teams have played twice, but thanks to a COVID win last year, the Jackets have the series lead 2-1. In 2012, the teams met in the state semifinals, so good on both of these schools for agreeing to this series. It's a tall task for both programs as the Tigers are undefeated this season, and Coalfield's only loss is to 4A Carter, which needed late-game heroics last week. Your thoughts on this one?
Well, Gordonsville is loaded. Very similar to a Coalfield community, really, up there. And I remember some big games back in the 90s between Gordonsville and Coalfield. But Gordonsville is one of the better teams in single A, but Coalfield will not be denied. I'm going Coalfield by 21.
That is bold.
That's bold.
Well, we'll see what happens. We're in week 6, and region standings are starting to take shape a little, so let's look at our region standings here in just a moment, because it is week 6, which means we're going to be halfway through the season after tonight. So we'll start out with Class 1, Region 2. There are those Coalfield Yellow Jackets, 3-0 in the region, 4-1 overall. Greenback sitting at 2-0 in the region. They've got a big game tonight against Loudon. This Harriman team we're about to see, they're 1-1, and Oakdale 1-0, followed by Midway, Sunbright, and Oliver Springs. In Class 2A Region 2, Monterey and Oneida both 2-0 in that region. York is 0-2. Rockwood is 0-1. Wartburg is 0-1. Rockwood's loss coming to the hands of Monterey, and Wartburg's loss coming to the hands of Oneida. Class 3A Region 2, no surprises here. Alcoa 3-0. And Gatlinburg-Pittman 2-1. That's a tough GP team. Getting a team from Alabama tonight. That's interesting for them. Pigeon Forge, Austin East, Northview Academy, and Union County round that out. In Region 3, Kingston undefeated, Loudon undefeated. 2 fun teams, and they get to play in Week 11.
Ooh,
and we'll see that game. That will be most likely for a regular season region championship. So
historical football right there.
Yeah. Class 4A Region 2, you've got Knox Carter and Anderson County leading the way. Those two teams are going to meet next week, followed by South Doyle, Fulton, Gibbs, and Scott High, rounding out that region. Class 5A Region 2, Knox West leads that one, tied with Halls, though, as both of those are 2-0 in that region. And then, tied with Centrals, both of those are 2-0, then followed by Knox Hall, Scott County, Sevier County, and Heritage. Region 3, you've got Powell and Oak Ridge, both 2-0 in that region. Carnes and Campbell County sitting at 1-1, followed by Clinton and Lenoir City. Class 6A Region 2, again, no surprise. Maryville at 2-0, leading that one, followed by Bradley Central. So those are your region standings. The new AP rankings released this week as well. So let's take a look at those. In Class 1A, and again, look at this. Like last week, Coalfield was 6th, They almost beat a 4A Carter team, and they dropped 2 spots to number 8. Who is voting in these things? But you've got Peabody at 1, followed by Fayetteville, South Pittsburgh at 3. That Gordonsville team sitting at 5. So if Coalfield wins tonight, hopefully the Yellow Jackets won't drop in the rankings again.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a statement made tonight with the Yellow Jackets of Coalfield.
You said Yellow Jackets by 21. We'll see. In the Class 2A poll, receiving all but one of the first-place votes is Meigs County, and then Hampton getting that other first-place vote. They sit at 3rd, but really not a lot of teams in our area on that list. As far as Class 3A goes, how about Covington getting 2 first-place votes over Alcoa? Again, who is voting in these things? Alcoa is clearly the best team in Class 3A, but you got Loudon coming in there at number 3 and Kingston coming in at number 6. Good luck for the Yellow Jackets.
Love it.
Class 4A, you've got Greenville leading the way. Elizabethton sitting there at number 4. South Doyle sitting there at number 9. So the interesting about this is that Anderson County defeated South Doyle last week, and Anderson County is not in the top 10.
Schedule. It's been a tough schedule for Anderson County.
Class 5A, you've got Knox West leading the way, followed by Mount Juliet and Powell. Central coming in at number 10. There's some good football teams in Class 5A.
There really is. 5A is loaded, especially in Knoxville area.
Yeah, and then in Class 6A, Oakland leading the way. They have all season long. Maryville coming in 2nd. Dobbins-Bennett checking in at number 8. So Greenville plays that Dobbins-Bennett team. That'll be a fun game tonight.
Yeah, 5A versus 6A.
Yeah, top 10, both classifications. I don't know when it starts to matter. Once you have so many kids, does it really matter, the classification?
Oh yeah, it gives you more of a pool to choose from.
Obviously for single A and for double A, triple A.
It absolutely.
So it does in 4, 5, and 6 too.
And let me tell you where it matters most, and that's in the wallet with fundraising and such as that. You're able to. You look at a 6A program, and you look at the coaching staff on the sidelines. Odds are they got a lot more than 3 football coaches, like you're probably going to see down here with Rockwood and Harriman. They have more funds because they have a bigger pool to choose from.
Yeah, well, that makes a lot of sense. I tell you what, before we move on from this, let's put up the schedule of the other games going on in the viewing area. We'll just run through those real quick. I know that you've seen those earlier in our broadcast, but again, we talked about Kingston at Campbell County, Farragut at South Doyle, Dobbins-Bennett at Greenville, Gordonsville at Coalfield, and Anderson County at Elizabeth. And we talked about all those. But then you've got Clinton at Chattanooga Central. That's a possible win for the Dragons tonight. You've got the game that we have tonight, Rockwood at Harriman. Oakdale at Sell Creek. Oakdale looking
That'll be a big game.
Yeah, trying to move to 4-0 on the season, and then Jellicoe at Sunbright.
That's another game to keep an eye on because Jellicoe's really playing some good football for Jellicoe.
Yeah, so, well, we are in the 103rd meeting tonight between...
Now, if that don't sum up today's generation better than anything.
Oh, man, did you see the look on her face? She was not happy.
Say hey to everybody. Have you got a bigger audience than what she was expecting? Snapchat filter, huh?
Yeah. Oh, man. So, anyway, we're here for the 103rd meeting of Harriman Rockwood. So are those 2 young ladies, and they're just, getting their game faces on with filters on them before this one starts up. But we will talk about this one and preview it when we get back. You are tuned in to the OEB Law Game of the Week.
To be honest, I was skeptical about getting the COVID-19 vaccine.
I checked what the CDC says and spoke with my doctor about the potential side effects. It definitely made me much less anxious. She told me if I have some arm pain or feel tired, that's completely normal as my body builds a defense to the virus.
I was willing to take the vaccine to protect me, my family, and my friends.
Join the millions of Tennesseans who have decided to give COVID-19 vaccines a shot. Visit covid19.tn.gov to find an appointment today.
We do everything from checklist and tackling kids' activities to exploring and enjoying life's special moments. Ray Varner Ford in Clinton can help you embrace it all in a new or pre-owned vehicle. 2021 Ford F-150 Super Crew 4x4 XLT, $53,992. 2018 Nissan Murano, $28,890. 2016 GMC Terrain Denali, $24,890. Prepare your vehicle for seasonal changes at our Quick Lane Tire and Auto Center. The local you trust, a lifestyle you can afford. Ray Varner Ford, your East Tennessee Ford dealership.
The Harriman Utility Board works hard to ensure reliable electric power is delivered to our service area. Recurring tree trimming and maintenance is essential to preventing unplanned outages caused by falling trees. HUB crews are constantly at work during the peak growing season and respond rapidly to storm damage. As partners in our community, we urge customers to be aware of the importance of electric line right-of-way management. Find out more about current right-of-way policies at our website, hub-tn.com.
Don't dig blind. Buried utilities are everywhere. Always contact 811 before you dig to have your utilities marked.
Planning a funeral can be difficult at best, but it can be a lot easier if you work with people who care. That's Davis Funeral Home in Harriman and Wartburg. Davis Funeral Home gives attention to every detail, ensuring your loved ones will be remembered with honor and integrity. Davis Funeral Home works very hard to give you the most professional service possible. Davis Funeral Homes, Morgan Avenue in Harriman and Old Mill Road in Wartburg. Davis Funeral Homes, people who care.
And welcome back to your OAB Law Game of the Week. We are about 5.5 minutes away from kickoff for the 103rd meeting between Harriman and Rockwood. These two teams have played as many times as Anita and Roger had Dalmatians. The two coaches of these programs were well tenured as well, as Harriman's Travis Tapp got the head job in 2003, and his record against Rockwood since then is 2-16. John Webb has been at Rockwood since 1996. Interesting to note, but Coach Webb's Tigers actually lost the first 4 tries against Harriman, but the Blue Devils have a state title appearance in there around that time and had a guy by the name of Jermaine Copeland donning the blue and white. Coach Webb is 19-6 against the school up north from him. What else can be said about this historic game?
It's one of the best games years in and years out. You know, it's the factor. You know, everybody wants to know, that's from Harriman. Well, how was Harriman? Well, what was that Rockwood score? You know, that's the grading factor between these two teams. So it's a big game.
Every game Harriman has played thus far has been a blowout. 2 losses to Kingston and Coalfield, 2 wins against Sell Creek and Sunbright. The losses were the first 2 games. The wins were the last 2 games. Meanwhile, Rockwood started the season with a big win against Oliver Springs, but it's been tough sailing since then with 3 losses to Sweetwater, Kingston, and Monterey. Is confidence a big factor tonight, or will these teams forget about all that stuff because of the rivalry?
Confidence always plays a factor. You know, Rockwood is not 100%. This is not the same Rockwood team that started the football season. They are banged up. So Harriman has a big opportunity here tonight.
Harriman averaged 9 points in losses and 44 points in wins. Likewise, Rockwood averaged 38 points in its closest games and only 7 in its 2 worst losses. I don't want to go Frank Caliendo, John Madden here, but the team that scores the most points will win tonight, which is something neither team has been able to really do in losses. Something has to give tonight, doesn't it?
Yes, to be honest, both clubs need to just more offensive production. It's been a stagnant kind of few weeks for both squads, really. So let's see if they can turn that around tonight.
So we are getting ready for the the coin toss as the captains are making their way onto the field. Before we do that, we need Hoot's helpful hints here. What are the keys for both of these teams tonight?
Well, for Rockwood, they have got to win in the trenches. They've got to have success in the running game and good defensive back play.
There you go.
Yep. See it on the board.
It's almost like we had this planned ahead of time. What about for Harriman?
They've got to have several turnovers tonight. They've got to have limited penalties, so mistake-free football, and they've got to win in the kicking game.
Which is so important, especially in these smaller classifications.
It's more important than a lot of people realize.
So as the captains make their way out onto the field, Rockwood is going to have the opportunity to call it in the air. Most teams defer. Do you expect Rockwood to defer if they win this toss? Actually, you know what? Whoever wins the toss, do you expect them to defer?
Actually, yeah, with both of these coaches, I do.
Old school coaches.
Yeah, both of them are defensive coaches. Travis Tapp has coached a lot of offense, but it's mainly because out of necessity. Most of his coaching stops have been smaller programs like Oakdale and Harriman, so he's had to call both sides of it.
Now, the last time Harriman has won the toss, the last time Harriman won this game was in 2016. Do you remember anything about that team around 2016?
Not that sticks out.
So Harriman is going to receive the kickoff. That's interesting. I didn't expect that either.
Travis Tapp's fired up.
Yeah.
I guess he wanted to make a statement here.
So the 2016 team, if I remember correctly, had some really talented players. Joe Pace was at quarterback. Isaiah McLean was lining up at a wide receiver. You had John Johnson out there. Those are athletes that also played basketball and went on to win a single A basketball championship. So
5 years ago.
Yeah, that was 5 years ago. Yeah, that was a heck of a class. They had athletes all over the place. Joe Pace was the quarterback of that team, and Coach Tapp would line up 4 and 5 wide and slung it all over the field. Not like Coach Tapp, but he knows that he can adapt his style to the players he has. And if you got somebody like Joe Pace at the time who could sling the rock around, then you set him up and let him do it.
Yeah, he was an outstanding athlete. Harriman's always had a couple athletes, and it's been a tough couple years for the Harriman Blue Devils, but hopefully they can start getting things figured out.
Two of the best athletes on the field tonight are going to be wearing those lower numbers, as number 1 for Rockwood is Jaden Hannibal, and number 3 for Rockwood is Jalen McCollum. Both extraordinary athletes, both really good basketball players as well.
Yeah, doesn't McCullough already have a couple Division I offers at smaller Division I programs?
Yeah, that kid was getting looked at when he was in 7th grade.
But that is an excellent athlete that I would love to have the opportunity to coach. You throw the football up and let him go get it in a 50-50 opportunity, and that kid can make a difference.
The clock is reset as we get set for our Davis Funeral Homes kickoff. Davis Funeral Homes with 2 locations to serve you, 715 Morgan Avenue in Harriman and 211 Old Mill Road in Wartburg. Those phone numbers, 865-882-2000 or 423-346-2011. Their support in your time of need does not end at the funeral services. So for Rockwood, it is Hayden McLean. A high spinner to the right side of the field is taken deep around the 12-yard line. And for Harriman, making his way up the field is Nasir Stokes, and Stokes crosses the 30, and Harriman's going to have pretty decent field position to start this football game.
Tackle made by number 6, Zach Wright, a senior, 6 foot, 150-pounder.
It is Hayden McLean
for Rockwood. Good high kick for Rockwood. Good catch by the Harriman Blue Devils. Pretty good field vision, picked up a big block.
Yeah.
Tiptoed to sidelines.
Yeah, you see that on the Chuck Fleischman replay. And Stokes is another pretty decent athlete, as Harriman's going to come out with 3 wide to the left, 1 to the right. And first pass is caught. So Pelfrey's pass is complete by Travis Frazier. Just a pickup of a couple, though. We'll bring up 2nd and 8.
Pelfrey's pass complete to number 2, Travis Frazier. Gain of about 2. It'll be 2nd and 8.
So you see Coach Tapp on your screen there talking to his quarterback, Pelfrey.
Pelfrey, that's another really good athlete here in Roane County. He's a stud athlete here for the Harriman Blue Devils. That has a really good set of wheels on him as well.
Now 3 wide receivers to the right. Pelfrey rolls out. He's under a lot of pressure. Somehow gets rid of the football and one-hops it to Camion Campbell.
Campbell incomplete.
See that athletic ability there with the escapability here shown on the Chuck Fleischman replay to be able to get outside the pocket and get rid of the football.
And I need to say, that young man's name is Camion Campbell, and I need to say that because last time we covered him, I got corrected on that, and so I want to make sure that I get that correct. So,
got a one-on-one opportunity at the top of your screen.
Pelfrey takes a snap, lets it go. Pretty pass.
Intercepted.
And it's intercepted. So here's Rockwood going the other direction, and it's Landon Watts, and Watts barrels ahead. There is a flag in the backfield. We need to see what that is.
Number 10, Landon Watts, we have flag on the field.
That's in the area of a hold. And that's exactly what the call is. It's a hold. And Coach John Webb will decline that, and we are going to have a change of possession this early. If you see the Chuck Fleischman replay, it's a really good pass by Pelfrey, but throws it into double coverage. Campbell tries to make the catch, and the ball is knocked right into Watts' hands. And Watts knew what to do with it at that point.
Rockwood will assume possession.
Big opportunity for the Rockwood Tigers here with excellent field position.
1st and 10.
Yeah, Hammers 1st and 10. So Harriman began their first drive at the Blue Devil 34. Rockwood begins their first drive at the Blue Devil 32. Fickey. Handoff. This is Dakota Waldo. Waldo tries to get outside. He's brought down by Campbell. Gets all the way down to the 14-yard line, and that's enough for a Hammers 1st and 10.
Just a classic wing T play, the counter isolation play.
Number 2, Travis Frazier.
A lot of movement to get that defensive line standing up. Pull the guard and take off upfield. Great run by Dakota Waldo.
Quarterback for the Tigers, number 4, Xavier Fickey.
So Fickey lines up with Gerald Hannibal in the backfield and also Don Moran. And Moran gets the carry. Mick gets around the right side and struts into the end zone. It is a touchdown, Rockwood.
Moran with the moves. He really put it on that right end for Harriman. Juked him on the inside and outran him to the end zone.
Great start for Rockwood.
Right there. And that is a great athlete that he did that to.
Yep. Chris Berman's whoop. So into the attempt the extra point is McLean. It's up and it is good. Your new score with 10:02 left to go in the first quarter. Rockwood leading over Harriman by a score of 7-0 on the OEB Law Game of the Week.
OEB Law is excited to be a part of this year's football season. School spirit is at an all-time high. OEB Law is proud to give back and support our community. Come cheer on these great teams with us. And remember, if you've been injured or need legal help, OEB Law will be there for you. So visit wreckintoacheck.com or give us a call, 865-546-1111, and let OEB Law turn your wreck into a check.
Patterson's Appliances has been helping families like yours find quality home appliances from trusted brands including Whirlpool, Maytag, and KitchenAid for over 55 years. Our knowledgeable appliance specialists know how to outfit your kitchen or laundry room with the right appliances to meet your needs. We service what we sell with our own in-house factory-trained service technicians. And for the DIYers, our parts department is always ready to help customers find the appliance parts they need. Patterson's Home Appliances.
And welcome back into the OEB Law Game of the Week. On the return for Harriman is Nasir Stokes off of that Davis Funeral Home kickoff. Davis Funeral Home with 2 locations to serve you, 715 Morgan Avenue in Harriman, 211 Old Mill Road in Wartburg. Aaron Harvey joined now by Tim Elrod. We ran my favorite guy in the booth off for a second, and we brought in my second favorite guy in the booth, Mr. Elrod. I can't give you that first distinction, not
Those
yet.
are big shoes to fill,
That's right.
and I'm not trying to fill them.
So, Roane County football, the longest running rivalry in Tennessee, Harriman and Rockwood. Pretty spectacular night for football, too.
103 years. Chris, boy, he's going to get the edge there, isn't he?
Looks like it.
But they
No,
shut him down.
Stokes is brought down by Watts.
You know, great weather tonight, cool. You can feel that chill in the air, and that just means it's time to play football. And I couldn't think of a better place to be than right here in Harriman at the oldest rivalry in the state. So very excited to be here.
Yeah, these two teams began playing all the way back in 1921. I wasn't there. You weren't there either, but that was a long time ago.
It was, and it's always good to see rivalries withstand the test of time, no matter what the politics are behind it. But these two teams have decided to put that aside and keep on playing. And, especially with Harriman tonight, they come in, 3-2, 2-3, something like that?
Yeah, 3-2.
And Rockwood, 1-3.
Yep.
That was good open field tackling there. And it's getting chippy. You see threes talking to 7. There's no doubt about that. And